Welcome, everyone. We're the Bad Plans crew, and this is episode 7 already of The Long Death, our ongoing D&D campaign, homebrew campaign. My name is Jay Grenier. I'm the Dungeon Master, and along with these excellent people, we're going to roll some dice, we're going to tell some stories, kill some monsters, and have a damn good time. We are here every Wednesday night at 9 Central, and if you miss an episode, you can always find them on our YouTube channel, which hopefully you're subscribed to. Somebody, if you could be so kind and link the YouTube channel in chat, you can get the link there. If you're not already, go hit the subscribe button, check out the videos. We're a brand new channel, so we're just getting started. So if you like the content, please consider following us here on Twitch if you're not already, and on YouTube as well. Subscribing over there helps us out a lot. And generally just like telling people about this. If you have other friends or family members or kids or parents who like watching D&D, please send them our way so they can check stuff out.
Not parents.
No parents allowed.
Potentially parent. I don't know. Whoever. Your neighbors. We have neighbors who watch D&D. We should. They play D&D. More people need to watch D&D.
Yes.
Anyway, here we are. How you guys doing this week? What's going on?
Oh, you know.
Doing excellent.
Prepping for baby.
How much?
Every day
How
is
long?
a slog.
How many days?
How many hours?
9 till the official due date. But
Wow.
are
you ready?
That's single digits.
Are you ready? That
I mean, it's been hard on you, Evan. We know, man. But,
impossible.
Cindy got banned in chat. Wolfpack 3
Uh-oh.
already. She's back though.
Oh no.
We're good.
What?
We're good. We need to.
Who banned you?
That bot is perpetually just
I will fight
throwing
the
the
bot.
hammer
Crazy
down.
again?
Yeah,
Man,
absolutely.
Nightbot is nuts.
Kill the bot.
Yeah.
So strict.
Just send Vin in to
I
murder.
saw him just
the
like
bot.
sticking around on Discord today, and I'm like, wait a second, what's he doing? Like, what is he? It just feels like he's watching you all the time.
Yeah.
It's
The
very
bot is
discomforting.
sus.
So before we get into the recap, the next month or so here on the channel is gonna be exciting because we're gonna have our first sponsor coming in I think 2 weeks. Vin, is that what we're doing? Right, 2 weeks from now, ish, something like that. Yeah. So that'll be really cool.
Sometime.
And next week we're gonna be doing another giveaway. So please make sure you're here for that. That's gonna be fun.
Oh.
Hey, we are. Can I win?
You cannot win. I apologize for that. No, I don't actually.
Can't
Resign in protest. I protest.
Yeah, so giveaway next week, and then we're gonna potentially be doing a giveaway for each day or for each week of the sponsorship as well. So a lot of giveaways coming up, so make sure not to miss those shows. And we have new emotes. If you haven't seen those already, go ahead, spam the crap out of those. If you're a subscriber, there's all sorts of fun new stuff in chat. Lots of exciting things going on this week.
Hype, 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 hype.
Hype,
trying to get Cindy banned again for spamming.
Boom. Jamie of
Test
Doom.
all of them. Test all of the spam.
Spamming all over the place.
What did
Lynette
I?
would like to compliment you.
Is there a certain amount? Oh, sorry.
There we go. There's a.
I was going to say Lynette would
Already
like to
stuff.
compliment you on your correct use of emotes
Yeah.
Oh.
instead of
No.
emojis.
No, I have you know how everyone has little things. My little thing is it's an emote because it's on Twitch. Emoticons. That's the
Yeah.
abbreviation.
Okay.
Oh.
But I didn't want to be rude about it, but Jeff decided to reveal to everyone.
It is my privilege to be rude on your behalf. You all suck.
No.
Say it right, people. Say it right.
Right. All right. Are we ready to go?
Yep.
As we all drink, yes, we are ready.
Yes.
Where we last left our adventurers, they'd finally, after the longest day any of them can remember, gotten to sleep for the night in the grove of the great banyan tree. Originally, they'd come to this island for a singular, focused purpose, to find and hopefully open up the ancient dwarven mines to help the people of Portsmouth nearby. But since arriving on Thunderstone, you've learned that there's a lot more going on here than a simple old abandoned mine. The island was once a powerful and sacred site for druids, and the great tree that sustained it is not well. The stewards, a group of sisters who'd been here a long time tending to the tree, were exhausted and almost spent, for a great beast lurked in the old mines, and as long as the beast lives, the sisters can't rest. You were asked to prove your strength and resourcefulness by rescuing one of the sisters from the clutches of a group of savage gnolls. With some quick thinking and clever planning, you were successful, but not before coming into dangerously close contact with a massive 30-foot-tall, towering giant that roamed the northern forest. The sister was safely escorted to the grove, and you were finally able to sit, get a bite to eat, and look good and hard at the handful of magical items that you'd looted earlier that day. Though the calm of the grove was a welcome relief, sleep did not come easy. Racked with nightmares, you each spent the night tossing as relentless, horrible nightmares flooded your minds. You awake just after sunrise. The rays of sun are peeking through the dense canopy of the great banyan tree. Though you're rested, it's not hard to tell that any prolonged stay here, even one more night, is going to bring very little rest. Constance is nearby. She looks exhausted and haggard, eyes dark, face gaunt. She's brewing some tea for Aggie, who appears to still be sleeping, restlessly. The whole day is ahead of you. So, what's the plan?
Jeff has got me like focused on your use of stewards. Every time you say it now, I see stewards, all with suspenders on, and like big galoshes, and it's killing me.
Either of them mind, baby.
So those magic items that we totally didn't forget about.
Hey,
we
good place to start.
Definitely meditated with them.
But definitely we're figuring out what they are. Yeah, let's. I was holding the staff that potentially turns into a sword. Who has the two little rocks and who has the spear?
I wanna hold the swirly orb.
The swirly orb. All right.
The spear?
I'll have the
Spear?
small stones, the clearly magical black small stones.
Yes.
That's mine. I was
And then-
accidentally sleeping on them.
Whoa. All right.
And there's a scroll too. Do we have to sleep
Oh.
with the scroll? Or just
There-
read it?
I
there
think we
was
You
have
don't have
read
to
it.
sleep with the scroll, but somebody has to actually look at it.
Somebody has to be able to read
Okay,
it.
That would
so
be a
as
good
people
start.
are looking at stuff, Kins is gonna walk over back to the tree roots and
Okay.
start a ritual spell. It's gonna be 10 minutes long, okay? So,
The tree strangles you before you can
no, no,
pass
no,
and
no,
speak
no,
with
no, no,
plants.
no, no, no,
It doesn't want to
no,
talk
no.
to anybody
Wait,
else.
no. Okay, before the
It's
DM
weird.
goes aggro
It's-
and kills Kins, it is the spell itself is detect poison and disease. Okay, a ritual spell, 10 minutes.
Interesting. Detect poison and disease.
Oh,
Okay.
you
great.
detected that the tree is murderous.
I will sit with the scroll, Jay, since everybody's doing their thing.
Kins
no, you
doesn't
just
want
have
to
to
be
be able to
murdered.
read it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Oh.
the way scrolls work is that you
Oh, yeah.
you have to basically the spell, whatever spell is on the scroll, needs to be in your class's spell list for you to read what it is.
Can I
Oh.
read it?
That is a great question. For brevity's sake, I'm sure one of you can read it. It's a spell of wind walk that can be cast one time.
Okay.
Wind walk. Is that where we turn into? What is that?
You don't know. You just stab people.
I mean, I have
You're
no
gonna have,
clue.
Mr.
you're
I'm
gonna have to
Spell.
ask an
Mr.
expert.
Spell.
You're gonna have
Complete
to
strangers
call it.
Can we
for
just
first
Phone
impressions.
a friend.
Can we run above the trees? That sounds cool. What is wind walk?
He
Anderson?
knows.
That,
Oh wait, did you actually post something? No, you didn't. Okay. All right, so we're on Sparrow's Corner, by the way, for people totally out of Umbridge. We're all reading these
Yep.
things. If you wonder why we're staring at our screens, you can read them along with us if you want to see what these things are.
Yeah, so we have a channel on our Discord where we post all of the items. That is ! Discord and chat if you want to get the link to that. Check it out. So the first item is an orb of direction. While holding this orb, you can use an action to determine which way is north. It's essentially a magical compass. Potion of acid resistance, potion of greater healing. Those are pretty self-explanatory. Pair of sending stones, which is a pair of stones that allow the holders of each to communicate over great distances magically. And then finally, a veteran's cane, which is a dark walnut walking cane that can magically transform into a magical longsword and then back into a cane. So these are all items you found in the abandoned tower of Raikkonen the Wizard earlier on in your.
So if this is what he left behind, what
so
did he take with him? This is my question.
Yes, if this is just the leftovers. The sending stone is interesting. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And the north. I mean, I guess north is where we're about to start heading. So
Yeah.
Do we
That
want
could be
to?
useful.
How do we
Convenient.
want to hold on to these? Do we want to actually have somebody assigned to them, or like should we put them in the bag?
I feel like maybe Vin should have one of the sending stones since usually scouts
Well,
ahead.
we're definitely
now.
creating some type of hand signal too of like
Yes.
when I want you to send me a message. So
Okay. Like a dancing light signal, right?
no,
Hmm.
Yeah.
an invisible, silent like hand signal.
Okay. Bird calls.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Practice your bird calls.
we
So Constance notices that you're awake, and she walks over to you, Kins, as you are focusing on your ritual, and she leans down and hands you a cup of what smells like tea.
I will take the cup but still be focusing on my ritual.
Sure. And then she walks over and just sort of gestures to any of you that you're welcome to some tea if you want some.
Ooh, yes, please. What is this?
She looks over and she says, "Oh, we don't have much, but I was able to put together a nice brew this morning. Some of the local herbs."
It's a little hot.
Well, it's
Just
just
wait.
come off the
I
flame.
burned my tongue. Burned my tongue. Thank you.
So, Constance, do you still have the same nightmares that we had last night? Every night you spend in this forest? Or have you guys been able to shield your minds from this?
She looks over instinctively at her sister, who is tossing and turning on the bedroll. You can see her face is grimaced as she's doing her best to get some rest, heal over the injuries from yesterday. She doesn't look back and she says, "You get used to them. Kind of."
Wow.
And did they start when that monster that's in the cave came to the island?
She meets your gaze, Belrissa. She says, "Yes."
You know that it's recommended to get a full night's sleep, right? I'm wondering if it might help. I often find that when I sleep well, the next day is like everything I try to do is just like a little better. Just
She-
suggestion.
She walks over, kind of cupping her two hands on her cup of tea, and she looks up, just sort of glancing at the giant tree in the canopy, which, 60 feet over your head. And she just kind of talks. And she says, "That's not something we have the luxury of here, my son."
Do you know that tree showed me things?
She looks over at you. She says, "Showed you things."
Yeah, it showed me things. I was like, yesterday was just a crazy day. It was like just crazy. So I was like making friends here, making friends there. I was like, look at this tree. It's giant. I should be its friend. So I was like,
She
hey,
kind of
what's your
glances
name?
around at like the lot of you, and then back at you, Jessie.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, it was awesome. So I was like, "What's your name?" Because you told me like it doesn't have a name or something like that, and I was like a little distracted, but I asked it, and instead of telling me its name, it just showed me like, oh my gosh, like all these images. It was just like, it was pretty cool. You ever do that? You should try. You can eat the mushrooms. I think Kins has some.
Oh god, throw that mushroom away.
I look
We
back
can go
like,
back.
don't touch
There
my
were
mushroom.
tons.
She-
No, there were tons.
She seems deep in thought, considering what you've said, but ultimately does not reply.
So this beast, You referred to it as the beast of many forms. What does that mean? What form was it when you first saw it? And can you describe what forms it became?
The beast, when we first saw it, it came to us in the night. Huge, massive teeth and jaws. It had scaly skin, like that of a lizard. It moved with a speed that caught us by surprise. It was big, probably 15, 20 feet long. We fought it, and, well, we were still strong then. We fought it for days. The tree gave us strength, and we fought it with all our might, but even together we weren't enough. We managed to drive it back a time or two, but often it would come back, and it would be different than it was the day before. Similar, but a different size, a different body. It was as if it could change. Always dangerous. Sometimes just a shadow. Sometimes that large, massive, jawed beast. But I don't know much about it other than it rests now in the mines.
How were you able to drive it back to the mines?
She says, it was my sister's idea, actually. And she glances down, takes a sip of her tea as she kind of looks at Aggie, who's still kind of rolling on the floor, trying to sleep. She says, we lured it there, and we're able to drive it inside, and it always seemed to seek us out wherever we went, so we knew we could draw it north, and then, well, from there it was a difficult fight, but somehow we did it, and well, it's difficult to recall those days. It was so long ago. All I remember is the jaws and she kind of grasps her arm a little bit and she says, and the result of those jaws.
When you fought it, was there something that like worked?
We tried. I mean, we fought it for days. On several occasions, sometimes it would retreat. We found that when we retreated to the grove, it would not follow. There were a few times where we were almost done in, and we had to fall back, regain our strength. But over time, as the nightmares continued, it became harder and harder to get our strength back. And finally, we gave it one final push, and it was just using our abilities and fighting as best we could. The beast is fallible. We injured it, but it was just too much for us. And eventually we just couldn't recoup our strength enough and then we dared not try again.
Was it just the three of you?
Yes.
How did Raikkonen get part of the key? To the mine. I mean, you had one half, he had another. Was he with you when you battled it, or did you ever know him? The mage from the tower?
Wizard guy.
Yeah, the wizard.
Swamp.
That whatever was in that tower was here a long time before we were. I've never met whoever you're referring to.
So,
But,
what?
but he had half the key. He has
Yeah.
to the mine.
Guys, I think I got it. There were people here who were also stewards before you. Yes?
Certainly, yes.
Nice. Probably one of them.
Or maybe he knew them. So this beast, does it have any magics? Did it have any specific? I mean, we've battled things that can get inside your mind and make you terrified, or even try to control you, or poison, or I mean,
Yes, I know of what you mean. This beast ever only attacked us with tooth and claw, but it was always just a bit more than we could handle. God, there were a few times where we came real close, but it was never enough. It always seemed to regain its strength faster than we could. And as the nightmares just continued and we became weaker and it became harder and harder to leave the grove, the tree seems to, well, it seems to give us strength. The whole island really is, it's almost as if it's in some kind of stasis and the tree supports it. And we were able to retreat here, and now in our in our old age, it's very difficult to leave here.
Were you guys here before, like, the turtles said, the turtles, they said that the island was, a thriving place. So were you here when that was going on?
She says, I had visited here once when I was a girl, but I was not here much. I was certainly not here during the plague. We came after. My sisters and I, we felt a calling, presumably from the great tree. When we arrived, the storm was here, and it repelled us. But we were able to use our magic to get through. There was no one else here. We spent a few days trying to search around, look for survivors. And it was then that the beast found us.
You don't make the storm?
No, the storm.
Who makes the storm?
I'm uncertain, really. I have always just imagined it was the island itself, trying to protect itself, keeping away those who would do harm.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it could have been a seaport or a center of trade with a storm constantly surrounding it. I mean, that seems like that had, like, was it the storm was here even when you were a child?
No,
Or-
the storm.
Oh, so after
was-
the plague?
The storm was not here when I visited when I was young, but it was here when we came back after the plague.
Okay.
Hey, Ken, say.
Oh no, I was
You
gonna
wanna go?
ask, am I detecting any poison or disease from this
Yeah.
tree?
So your ritual spell completes, and you can definitely sense that there is there is no. What you can sense with your spell is that whatever is afflicting this tree is magical in nature and not an organic poison or some kind of organic disease. It's definitely a magical plight.
What are you doing?
I mean, look at this tree.
Are you talking to it?
I wish. Maybe one
You got
day.
mushrooms, right?
Maybe one day. Yeah, I'm saving that.
you
I'm
could
saving the
try.
mushroom. Okay. I'm saving it.
We could get more.
I'm
You
just
can
like,
see-
okay.
Belrissa is on board. We are
So-
going back to that grove, okay?
I talked to this tree, right?
Yeah, I remember you said.
Call him old Banya, and it didn't.
I don't know. It
It
seemed like you were
might
having a
be-
rough time with the tree.
It might be good if other people tried to talk to the tree. It was difficult. It was like a lot. Like a lot.
Well, Joshi, I absolutely would love to talk to this tree. but not yet.
Okay.
I'm
You
just
let in the
looking.
mushrooms age.
I don't know if that makes them
More
more
potent.
potent. I hope. I hope so. If I know anything about mushrooms as my city druid self, it's the longer they rot, the more potent they get. So
You do
saving
talk to
it.
the tree. Would you mind asking it what its name is?
I
'Cause
could try.
tried,
I could
and I
try.
think it answered, but like,
Oh, what did it say its name was?
yeah, it said its name was a series of images, which was peculiar, I thought.
I don't think that's a name.
I didn't think plants could talk, but maybe names are images. Anything is possible. Okay.
Anything is possible.
So, Kins, are you walking back to the group at this point, or are you still by yourself?
Oh yeah, well I guess since I'm talking to or did Joshi come up to me? I don't know.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
once I
Oh,
figured
yeah.
out the
Probably.
root thing,
When
I
he sees
started
you
walking back.
sitting there and just like looking
Okay.
at the tree, like, come on.
All right, Joshi, let's go back. Let's go back. I'll talk to the tree later. I promise.
As
Okay.
Kins, as you walk back, Constance kind of she shifts her posture a little bit and kind of stands up a little straighter, or best she can, and she kind of walks over to you, and she puts her her mug down, and she walks up and she puts a hand on your shoulder and she looks you in the eye, and she says, "For a long time I thought we had failed. I saw no solution, though I waited, hopeful that one would present itself. I admit yesterday I did not trust you or your friends, but you have given me some hope. If you are willing, I would ask one more task of you, of all of you. Go into the mines. Destroy the beast within. Please help us."
Oh, so we're ready now? Just like that? We're ready?
It was brave of you to go north
You
into
believe
the
in
giant
us?
wood. To go there and return with my sister
I mean, we didn't even kill anything.
without even a
I know,
scratch on you.
That's a real accomplishment, to be honest.
It's
Do you want to hear the story?
the
How
story.
about we tell it while we walk to the edge of the tree and make our way into the forest?
Wait, but I have so many more questions. I'm not ready to leave.
She looks at you. She says, "I'm happy to answer your questions, child. Perhaps we can walk, though. That's a good idea."
We've
It's,
got like a 30-minute walk to get to the edge of the tree, so
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, so
Did we at least eat
imagine-
some breakfast before we left?
Sure.
It's
Okay.
Yeah,
we
you guys,
eat.
you guys had some breakfast. You
Okay,
ate some
good.
tree roots.
Don't touch
All
my
right.
mushroom.
Imagine if noises could come out of little pellets. Right. So just like any noise you can make, just like a pellet can make that noise. That's what that guy can do. That's
As
all you
you're-
need to know.
She actually like cracks a smile a little bit, like she's getting used to Jeshi, at this point. But as you're walking, she kind of re-picks up the conversation, Kins, and she says, "There's one thing I want to make clear. This is not without risk. It is very dangerous for all of you to go in there. But as I said, for you to go north and come back, seemingly without a scratch on you, that's impressive. I think I forgot just how weak we've become, having been stuck here for so long. I don't know if you can defeat this thing, but I am confident that if you can't, you'll be able to escape. All I ask is that you don't... Well, you've got the key. Perhaps you can lock it back in if you fail, or something. Just please, well, yeah." And she kind of trails off and hangs her head a little bit as you keep walking.
All right, Constance. I want to know about this giant. So, you know its name. Does that mean you've talked to him before? Like, what's he like?
I told you most of what I know about him. when we came here, we thought it best to explore the island. This was before the beast attacked us, and we tried to figure out what might be affecting the tree. We discovered him in the North Forest. He was violent, unapproachable, but also confused. He would bellow into the air, seemingly talking to himself, wandering in circles. We couldn't get close, and he didn't respond to our calls, so we tried to connect with him telepathically through magic. But all we managed to learn was his name, Figpur. He kept repeating it, but any further questions just came out as gibberish or screams, even telepathically. It was as if his mind is, confused. His kind are not unintelligent, generally, but he's simply too dangerous to approach, and so we did not.
Okay. So giants aren't naturally, like, super violent people.
She says, I don't know much about giants. I know there are many kinds, but this one is very dangerous.
Would you say more or less dangerous than the beast? Convert your answer into challenge rating.
Let them fight.
Oh, sorry, had him. Oh,
How challenging might you say?
On a scale of no.
She looks over at you, Jeshi, and makes eye contact for a second. She says, it's funny you should say that. It was my sister Ednis who had the idea that perhaps we could lead the beast to the giant. And, well, it didn't go as planned.
They would become friends.
Well, no. The giant is not always there, which is difficult to explain. He's very large. Normally you can hear him and see him coming for quite a ways.
Hey, that thing takes multiple shapes. Do you think it takes like a giant shape?
I had not considered that. Are you suggesting the beast is the giant?
I don't know. Have you ever seen them in the same place?
No.
Maybe there's two beasts.
But we can
Is there
sense...
only one giant? That is my question. Thorcom, I'm going to feed you this mushroom if you don't just come on.
I throw Vinny his 2 coins back.
Oh,
In the
Beast
tea.
is the giant.
I take out a little notepad and scratch something off there.
Thorcom
His
lives another
list.
day.
I've watched too many movies. All I could think of was the Happy Gilmore, the guy with lipstick.
She says, she says, the beast would attack us on sight whenever we saw it. The giant would just wander. I don't get the same feeling from them.
So what happened when you led the beast to the giant? The giant just wasn't there?
We couldn't find him. I know how strange that sounds. We looked. We led the beast as far as we could, but the further we get from the tree, the less strength we have, and before long we had to turn back. He was just gone.
How far do we have to go right now?
Yeah.
She says, the entrance to the mines are about an hour hike. You can keep to the western edge of the giant wood. Just keep to the road. It's a bit overgrown, but you'll find it. There's a small mountain on the north side, and you'll begin to climb. And as long as you stick to the road, you can't miss it.
Jay, based on the limited information we've gotten, that it changes forms, that we've obviously had our dreams affected, can I determine anything? Have I ever heard or seen something like this?
Make
lifetime.
a Make an intelligence check.
Ooh.
How intelligent are you?
Thorkham's not
Oh,
that great.
Wait, what was
I will
it?
take that.
F.
It's not combat. That's in that one.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
And
That's
it
not a lot.
begins. Oh, do we have our roles like in chat again or in the video? Oh no, we're not at the bottom.
No.
We're on our faces. You should have not wasted your nat
Natural
20.
Okay. As you think to yourself, Thorkum, you still have a residual headache from the nightmares last night. So thinking about anything is really difficult, and it just feels, it's like almost like a hangover. It's been a long night. And as you're walking, you're trying to think and you're trying to process what you're hearing, and you trip on a root, and you just fall face first and just kind of like smash face down onto the roots. You don't take any damage, but you guys all just see Thorkum just randomly just fall down.
Oh my gosh, watch the roots, dude.
I lay there face
Calm
down for a
down.
second, and then I just move my
Alley-oop.
arm and do this, and then 14 picks me back up, and then
Nice.
I ride on him.
Excellent. All right, you make it to the edge of the grove. You come up in between two of those giant stone pillars. On the right hand side, there's one that appears to be made out of a light kind of sandy stone, and on the left hand side, there's one that's made out of wood. It's like a light colored, very straight grained, just giant plank of wood that was probably carved from a single tree. And there's a bunch of engravings in it that none of you recognize, but she kind of leads you generally to the center of these, and she says, if you just continue to head in this direction for another maybe between 5 and 10 minutes or so, I'd say you'll find the road. Just make sure you're paying attention. It's a bit overgrown. Turn right, head north, walk for about an hour, and you'll find it.
Okay.
We appreciate your help.
If we don't come back in a reasonable amount of time, our friends are on the beach. Tell them they can leave.
You brought friends with you?
We did, yeah. Well, they brought us.
Well,
He's a good guy.
they're not going to be going
You'll like
anywhere
him.
if the storm doesn't
Oh, yeah,
let them pass.
That's
They're basically
right.
stuck here.
That's true.
Yeah,
Ooh. Maybe you can help them
we
leave.
we are coming back.
Okay,
What if
we're
we don't
definitely
come
coming back.
When we come back,
It's all
if you
gonna be
have
fine.
whatever strength you have left, Constance, as you're gathering your sisters, I think this island is going to go through a transformation. It is our hope. And at some point, that the people of Portsmouth might even be traveling back here to acquire iron. But the three of you are the only ones who know how to care for this tree and have any idea potentially of what this place looked like before. And so we will need you to be able to give guidance and to make sure that somehow we don't create more harm by having people come and start mining metals again out of this place and trying to bring back people to this island. Like it's got some healing to do. It feels like it just feels sick, the whole thing. But we'll see you again. Like, we're not gonna die in the mine.
We might die.
We might run from the mine, but we're not gonna die in the mine.
I almost died twice in the
Gee.
past 2 days.
Is there water in the mine? Like, are there deep pools that things can grab you and suck you into? I guess that is a question we should ask.
Can someone be grappled?
Vin,
My only weakness.
Vin, she looks at you, meeting your gaze, looking you right in the eye, and she says, "We do know what's best for the tree. You're right. And I believe you'll return. Defeat the beast, and then we can think about what's best for this island." And she looks over at you, Belrissa, and she says, she actually starts to walk away as if leaving, and then she stops and she turns back and she looks at you, Belrissa, and she says, my sister can travel quickly. Should we check on your friends?
If you think they're in danger, probably that might be good. We'd appreciate it.
Spending the night anywhere on this island outside of the grove is difficult. We'll check on them.
Thanks. That'd be awesome.
She looks back and kind of gives you all a glance and holds your gaze on Kin's, and she just...
I'll walk up to her one last time, put my hand on her shoulder, and say, we'll be back. And I'll turn around and walk away.
Okay. Excellent. You leave the grove and you start heading through the woods, and just as she said, it doesn't take you more than 5 minutes or so, and you find the path. You are able to turn in the direction she suggested. You're sort of on the border of the swamp, which is generally on the west and southern side of the tree, and then to the north you've got the giant wood. You're sort of almost in between all of these biomes as you move forward, and the path is easier than it was when you were walking just through the swamp. You're able to make decent time. You're traveling, it's a sort of not a single file, but maybe side by side path, and sure enough, after maybe 20 minutes or so of heading north, you notice that you begin to raise up in elevation. The path begins to incline. It's rocky, loose sand, and just rocks that have kind of tumbled their way down the hill, and you can look up in front of you and you can see that as you start to gain a little bit of elevation, you can see there's a peak of what looks like a small mountain. Nothing like the massive mountains to the north that you guys are used to, but definitely a mountain. You continue to walk for about a half hour or so, and what's everybody doing as you're walking?
Totally testing out this new walking stick. Playing with it to see if I can get it to change distance, practicing changing it into a sword and back into a stick. Just kind of those, just playing around with the walking stick.
Okay, so you took the veteran's cane, and then who has the other items? What'd you decide on?
Larissa saw the orb of direction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and right now Jeshi has both of the stones. We haven't really decided who.
Well, I had given them to you.
Oh, you gave them
Yeah.
to me. Okay. All right, well, they're in my pocket.
In the conversation was you should have one and maybe somebody else.
Someone else should have one. Yeah. I mean, these are great long distance things, so I can see a time where we might give one to someone in Portsmouth and we could have one somewhere else. But for now,
Yeah, so I started to understand that because I accidentally slept on them, which I thought I would have noticed if not for the nightmares. You can only use them once.
right. This
A
isn't,
day.
it's very different from the messaging ability that Belrissa has, it seems.
Oh,
But
it's
can
only
also
once
go
a
much
day?
further. Yeah, once per day, but can go anywhere in the world, right? I mean, it's
see.
way farther than what you can do. But as long as we're within a couple 100 feet of each other, Belrissa can talk to us. But these would be
Well,
great for
Oh, yeah. 120
talking
feet.
to other people. But yeah, I mean, I'll hold them. I'll just put them in my pack, or we can toss them over to 14 or the bag of holding. I mean, they're not heavy, so I'll just throw them in my pack.
Who has the other half of the key?
I do.
Can I see it?
Oh, I thought we had already made the key. Did we not reform the
Nope.
key?
Nope.
Oh,
Form blazing key.
why don't we try to? Why don't we try to? Why
That was
don't we
pretty
try
good.
to do that while we're walking?
Can I see your half of the key? Are you
Are
just
you
holding it up?
out?
We're both like in a stalemate, like.
Wait, maybe like it's
Do
in
we do,
half.
like-
Maybe the two of you should be like,
Let's let the dwarf handle the dwarf thing. Thank
Okay.
you.
There you go.
oh, okay, I'll take both.
I'll
Pull
let
the
you
dwarf
handle all the
card,
tree
huh?
things.
I'll let you handle the tree.
Jay, I'm gonna look at it and try to see how it fits together.
Okay.
Since it's supposed to be
It's ultra obvious to you how it fits together. It's
gotcha.
So it's two halves of a large, probably 6-inch long key. It's made out of like what looks to be an aged brass or similar alloy, and there's sort of a groove running along the long end, and you can snap it together and just and it goes right in, and you can tell from the patina that it's been a long time before this key was two halves made a whole, but nevertheless it goes right together, and you
Cool.
now have the full key.
So,
I'll hand it back to Ken's.
Thanks.
so how do you think the ladies locked this beast in there without having both parts of the key?
I don't know if
How
that
does that
part of their
work?
story holds up.
Y'all,
But-
I'm sorry. Like, do you think the other druid ladies are sus? Like, I don't know. I don't know. She's like,
I
oh,
mean-
Aggie had this idea, and then Ednus
They're-
had this other idea. Like,
They're also old.
don't know.
Maybe a little
so
senile.
you think they
and
don't
so
remember?
I
They
think
might not.
they might, yeah, they might not be remembering everything accurately, or
They're not
the thing might have locked on its own.
Maybe
And
there was
somehow
a
they found
second
half a key.
entrance, then they like collapsed it.
Then with the story they gave us, they're not any older than you or I.
No, but they're way older. If
There
that makes
it is.
sense, right? Like, I mean, they're just, something is sucking the life out of them.
This
Like,
place has taken their minds.
yeah, it feels like, I mean, I could believe that they haven't slept well in the last 60 years or something, you know? Like, they just seem frail.
Mm-hmm.
But
So maybe it'll be easier than they think.
I
They
mean,
were really impressed with us, and I mean,
I have to say I was happy that this thing wasn't a mage. But then if it's affecting the nightmares, I kind of wonder if they didn't realize it was a mage and it was just doing things to them they didn't understand in their minds. But
what if Raikonen's bad?
When you
He's-
left, ooh,
Mm,
look at these cool toys he left us.
he knew your name, or the mirror did at least.
that's true.
Well, that's true.
Also, can we talk about this giant and how crazy and like is the giant controlling the storm? He talked to the storm. What the
I kind of feel bad for the giant now.
like?
If really like it doesn't know what's happening.
I think it's struggling from the same things. I think it hasn't slept in 60 years and it's just angry at everything. And the storm is like, I think it thinks the storm is what's causing its, like, it just seems, I think it's angry at the storm. Like, I am wondering what happens to this island when we kill this monster
Like,
and potentially do away with this stuff. Like, I mean, I have not seen a lot of happy giants in my life, so I'm not saying he's going to turn like nice.
Best
But-
friends.
But he might.
I
But
think
who
you might
knows?
be onto something, Ben. One time, like when I was on patrol, we had this kind of, we were on alert for a couple of nights, and I didn't really sleep. And I gotta be honest with you, like it was definitely the most angry I've been.
There you go.
And that was just a couple days.
Did you?
Couple days.
Yep.
Imagine what
60
60
years.
years of no
60
sleep would
years,
That's a
I would
lot.
probably be pretty mean.
I mean, you would be yelling at the clouds too, right? I mean, you know, it's like it's,
The long climb up the mountain is rewarded with the sight of the squat stone gates. They sit squarely and proud, recessed into the mountain face. The runic inscription carved across the lintel is in Old Dwarvish, and it reads, "The Mines of Zirak Dum." Thorcum and Jeshi, you two are particularly moved by the craftwork of the gate, though you can all appreciate the meticulous stone carving. Though they're only 9 or 10 feet high, the stone doors leave you with a feeling of immensity, a great weight and strength. This is bolstered, certainly, by the deep runes that faintly glow upon the surface. binding the doors closed to any without the proper spell or key.
Okay, here we are. Let's go.
We're all waiting on the dwarves at this point.
Do you guys think it would be okay if we took a second? I just need to sketch this.
Okay. I mean,
Taking
as
a
long as we don't
selfie?
hear the giant, I'm cool. Just like, taking a second.
So, yeah, let's consider this. Can we all agree that nothing inside of this mine is going to be friendly? Like, I know there's been a little conversation about me getting a little trigger happy and shooting things, so I'm just like,
So you're
Can we-
saying kill everything.
I'm
You
just
want
saying-
permission to kill anything we see.
You
on
want the
site.
endorsement of
Vinny,
all of us.
let's be honest. Every time you
Yes.
shoot something, you miss. Stabbing things.
Yikes.
I don't want to stab this thing. I don't want to stab, but I do want to know ahead of time. We're pretty sure we're gonna have to kill all the things in the mine. Is that accurate?
Unless we're super stealthy like last time, and we only take down the beast and then sneak out.
Do you think there's other things in the mine? Like, here's what I've been
I
thinking
mean,
too.
so,
What
like,
has this thing
we're-
been eating for 60 years?
We're
Like-
proud. We should know what lives underground, right?
Well,
like-
I'm assuming nothing is living in this mine anymore because this thing has had to feed off something. Like, if it has found food and sustenance in there, that's kind of crazy. Who knows how deep this mine goes? Because I'm wondering, like, is he not as weak or weakened as these druids, or like, what feeds this creature? But yeah, I'm not expecting to
You
find
know,
a lot of stuff
Vin,
alive.
You might be onto something again.
Ooh.
Did you go
On
2
a
days without
roll.
food? Also,
Yes, I
Josh?
did go
Wow.
several days without food, and I was also angry.
Angry and tired.
So that
or
seems
weak,
really
maybe.
good.
Well,
Double
this
Yeah,
makes
she's
Jesse's
me
mind
angry,
just trying to put this all. Oh, they just need to sleep and eat, and everything will be fine. And
Snack
it's
and a
great.
little nap. He'll be okay. He's
Love
just
it.
a giant puppy.
Snacking a nap.
Ooh. Speaking of puppies, are we getting stuff?
Oh, should I?
As I look at Belrissa.
Why?
Oh,
Yes.
impatient.
We don't have to. I wave Thorkum off. Hold on just a second.
Oh no.
All right. I'm gonna reach down
14 holds out his hand to you.
in the pouch.
I high five him.
I'm like, this one looks good. And I'll throw it.
You hurt
We'll
your
toss.
head.
What?
You need my hand, okay?
We'll see what it is. It is
Okay,
a
roll a
No,
D8.
no,
roll a
no, no,
D8.
no, 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 no. Ooh.
It's a 1.
Ooh. Okay, so
Jay's got the chart.
you throw this little, basically this fuzzy little ball that it looks almost like a cotton ball or something, but it has a bit of weight to it.
No, it's like triple size.
Sure. Okay. Triple side. A golf ball type of.
Describe
type of
the
thing.
cotton ball.
Yes. You chuck it and it kind of rolls across the floor, across the dirt, and as it gets closer to the stone, it seems to grow a little bit and turn and you see a creature rolling instead of this ball and with like a curled up tail, and finally it stops and you see a little weasel just sort of,
Oh, snap.
and a tiny little weasel just sort of it turns and it sees Belrissa and it darts towards you and it like runs up your leg and kind of gets like caught on your dress and it's like this.
It's
Yeah.
so cute.
Oh, can I pet it? Can I pet it?
All right, I'm
Hi.
gonna turn my attention back
Hi.
to Thorkum and Jesse. Like,
Oh, I'm
See
paying
if we
attention
can-
to the weasel.
your face.
I put it on the other shoulder
Maybe just
that's
the
opposite
Thorkum.
of
Yeah.
Ziggy.
Like, well, that doesn't seem nearly as helpful as a dire wolf.
Okay, party
Maybe you
poopers.
should work on this magic. Like, I don't know. Like, in my mind, you just chose to create a weasel. Like,
Look.
like so it's like,
Look.
don't know what you thought
I
this would be helpful.
mean-
But
Let me tell you something.
Weasel.
Okay, Vin, I know that you're a little grumpy. We're all a little grumpy because we couldn't sleep last night. But if we need to look ahead, I turn to Belrissa and say, "Don't worry, everything's gonna be fine." If we need to look ahead, we could send the weasel to do some like scanning of.
What? That's amazing. It's a great plan.
And Ziggy, who's still riding on your shoulder, starts batting at the weasel, and they start having like this little weasel cat fight on your like it's like darting across your shoulder, and it's keep digging your. It's like
Weasel, stop.
it stops. It immediately obeys your command.
Thank you.
And just chills out. Ziggy does not.
Ziggy does
Ziggy's
not.
just like,
No.
What?
What?
Gotta be on the stream.
Oh, I just
Hello?
there. I fat fingered the stream audio for.
No! Did you hear my
no.
weasel thing?
Oh, it was a beautiful plan.
You couldn't hear about the weasel?
One of the greatest.
One
Yes,
of the-
I'll
I wasn't
recap
even
it.
touching any buttons. Like I just.
Astonishingly, the weasel's name is.
It has been 0 days since Jay screwed up the audio.
Reset.
Reset the
really
clock,
do.
folks. Okay.
We really do have to get a
Okay.
placard.
Well, you'll just be surprised if it happens.
It's definitely
No.
going to happen.
I definitely want to go in. If you want the weasel to follow me, just make sure
Okay.
it stays quiet. But yes, I'll go in first. And just so we're all clear, this is like a shoot first, ask questions later kind of a mine.
Okay. Weasel.
I'll toss the key over to y'all.
I
Good.
grab it.
Or
I was gonna say, I don't
whoever
think-
grabs it first.
Let's have a dwarf use it. This feels everything about this is dwarf, which this should look somewhat normal to us. I mean, we've been living in a dwarven city, right? Like this kind of
I'm
architecture
living in a
and
trash
stuff
can. So.
isn't brand new to us. Is that true? Like that we've seen stuff like this around Great Haven?
I'm sorry. Ask one more time.
Yeah.
I was trying to help
Similar
chat
to Great
because they didn't hear your whole epic plan.
Oh, nice.
Have you
It's
seen
So we've
dwarven
seen stuff like this around like
this
dwarven
around Great-
runes and stuff. Yeah,
Oh,
right. Like this doesn't.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
So the
Okay.
world of Lydian is very, very dwarf heavy. So you've all grown up intimately familiar with dwarven architecture, stonework, things like that. So though you can't read the inscriptions because it's not even
Right.
in Dwarvish, it's in actually an even older language. But yes, you absolutely recognize the style of architecture. So who's walking up to the door with the key?
I am.
Orcum.
Orcum,
Okay.
Yep.
Passive investigation of 23.
Yep. Yeah, you don't notice anything that wasn't already described.
Okay.
So you walk up, and are you actively? What are you doing?
I'm going to use the key.
Okay. As you get closer to the door, you do notice that at right about chest level, there is a kind of just, as you'd expect, perfectly placed inside one of the engravings to be almost entirely hidden is a very small keyhole.
Is it like a punch key?
Yes.
Aha. Okay. So, yeah, I'll just knife it in.
Okay. As you put in the key, aside from a thick puff of dust, the doors open as easily as the day they were made. As soon as you push in the key, the doors slide inward, smoothly tucking away into the walls. While it is dim inside, you're immediately reminded of Great Haven and the smooth stone hallways of the ancient fort's central citadel. The frescoes on the walls, too, seem similar. Though not identical to those back home, they were clearly carved in a similar manner, each a large square panel depicting some event or story important to the dwarves that delved here. The hallway opens immediately into a much grander chamber, a huge square room filled with artwork and furniture and the trappings of a receiving area, kind of like a large entrance foyer type of room as you step in. Much of it's covered in dust cloths. Quick look around. Nothing's moving, and everything is generally covered in a fairly thick layer of dust. It's been a long time since anyone's been in here.
Is it dark in here? Is that what you said?
It's very dark. You all
Um,
have dark
I-
vision.
I'm going to produce flame in my hand.
Okay. You produce a flame in your hand to shed a light around you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go ahead and toss up some lights too.
Some rave lights.
Yes, no. Normal, low key lights.
There's some deep.
But just kind of 4 of
bass
them, right?
happening.
Like just.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
So
well,
yeah.
then mine are going to be sparkly.
Gosh. And I do that literal head shake.
You all
as I
make
walk
light.
to the room.
Congratulations.
Yes, well,
Kins has a flame in her hand. You all have your magic dancing lights.
Clearly
you step in.
My turn.
oh, are you making
Heck yes.
And my hammer consumes shadows around it, and then basically turns into like a torch.
Okay.
I see your swords as bigger than mine.
So
Jeshi's hammer lights
Stealth.
up as well, casting a
We are-
bright light all around.
we are
you.
not doing any stealth. So,
Nope.
I can shut it off.
You told me that no one lived in here, so we're good, right?
I mean, except the bad evil monster that's 20 feet tall and wants to
We're
eat
trying
us.
to kill it. Like, let's get it on. Let's go.
Okay, let's just. Oh, look, and lights. All right.
Those are the
So-
dancing lights.
Okay, was anyone else expecting not this when they heard the word mine?
Yes,
mean,
I was expecting like a cave of rocks, and like I am thoroughly impressed that there's like
I'm
I mean,
this
this
sorry.
seems like a
fanciness here.
city.
Are you
Every-
sure this is not an illusion like everything else we've ever seen in this place?
Everyone
should
make a
learn more
perception
about
check
dwarves.
as you're all kind of looking around, confused from the sounds of things.
What are you talking about? I'm not confused at all.
6.
Belrissa remains confused.
I'm in awe.
Take my passive.
You are in awe,
18.
I have a 10.
Yeah, 13.
10, 13. Okay.
We just look at Thorcum.
All right. Yeah. So, you're definitely the description of this being a lot different than what you probably expected is adequate or accurate, I should say. It's not. It definitely doesn't have the look of a mine. It's certainly not. It's actually very inviting. And Thorcum, one of the things you notice as you're just looking at all the frescoes on the walls, the different pieces of artwork that, some of them depict, dwarves, just different historic events that you actually recognize. But one of them in particular, on the western wall, depicts a large map. And you can see, as you look at the map, that the scope of the mine, it's probably, you can tell kind of from the way it's drawn that it's probably about 3 or 4 hours to walk from one end to the other. And on one side of the mine, the opposite side, you can see the door that you just came in through. And you can see that on the northwest side of the mine, there's another door that exits out onto the coast. And there are the initials NP on the map. You also see that the mines don't really look like mines at all. As you're looking at this map, you can see that there are different sort of pathways cut out, and a lot of it has deteriorated, and it's difficult to tell, like, instead of it just being a large sort of shaft that goes through, there are these different alcoves and things in the map that depict different areas that can be explored, and it's very strange to you. It's not at all what you expected. Finally, below that fresco, you see that there is a small lectern or a little dais, and there is what looks to be a leather-bound book sitting there.
I'll pick it up.
Okay. Most of the pages are filled with what seems to be the names of visitors, small entries about events. There's a mention of a harvest festival in Portsmouth, etc., things like that. General day-to-day communications. It seems like this is a register. However, the final page, as you flip through, has this to say. With a heavy heart, we stow the gear and seal the doors. Many have come down sick, and operations could not have continued much longer. The call has come from San Splendar, that any dwarf who can make the journey should return before the gates are sealed come fall. Those of us who can travel leave from Northport in the morning. To any who come after, whether you're robbing, looting, or relighting the fires. You should know this was a wondrous place, well kept and well loved. Here we were building something no dwarf had attempted, a new kind of craft alongside Alara's kin. The mines below provide iron and garnet, but in place of those things we leave the seed of new life for old tunnels. Our work is not yet finished, and with luck we will return, but I fear we will need to be very lucky indeed to see these halls again. I entreat you to speak with the druids and continue the work if you're able, or at least do not disturb it much. May Dagonlir bless you, and Alara accept you. Signed, Harlock Runehorn.
What's that?
I will take that page out and then put the book back down and kind of tuck that away.
You tell us what you read?
It's a message from my kin who were here.
Is it a good message? Bad message? Like, do we need to know?
No details, really. Just saying they were going back to San Splendar. And they had some sort of work that they were trying to complete here, but it's unfinished. And then I'm going to... Are there any doors from this room?
There's one sort of giant opening that seems to lead into the main shaft that continues and begins to descend into the main body of the mine. But in this actual room itself, there's no other doors. It seems to be an entrance receiving area.
In one other line, when I say stow the gear, I'm assuming they meant they pack the gear for travel. But would there be anything on the map that says like there's some sort of supply room?
A quick look at the map. Make an investigation check.
Gotcha. Actually, I will just... Let's see if I can get more than my passive. I can't. 23.
Okay. Yeah. So you really study the map hard, and it's intriguing to you because you've been in dwarven mines, and this is the design of it makes no sense to you. It's certainly not what you expected to see. This whole time you've had this idea in your head of what this place was going to be like, and this is far from it. You can't make any sense of this map, and you study it hard. You're not sure.
Okay.
Does anyone? I mean, as we just kind of look around, you described cloths put over furniture or something like that. Like, is any of it strewn? I mean, I'm wondering what a battle scene would look like between a massive 20-foot creature and 3 druids who trapped it in this room, and trying to picture that in my mind. And it doesn't seem like you're describing that.
Are you? Are you saying this out loud?
Yeah. I'm looking around to say, guys, does this look like a combat zone?
Doesn't mean they came in this way. There's another entrance.
To the north? Do you think they trapped him in the north? You think they would have?
I feel like they would have mentioned that.
I feel like they would, but you know what?
They never tell us anything. I don't know.
I'm just like,
I don't know.
You know, for a while there, we were... I mean, I know it was Jeshi, but still, the whole idea of Snick, it got me thinking, like, what if...
Oh my lord!
What if we don't find a giant monster? What if we find some person?
What if they're making the island sick? I mean, they might be.
I suggest...
Crazy druids who have a storm and they're sucking the power out of the tree. I don't know. Who knows?
Connie seems to like me, so if anything, I'll be your new leader. Don't worry.
But this is not what I expected in a number of ways. Like, this doesn't look like a battle scene. I don't understand how this is here and there's some crazy monster that's just been angrily trapped in here for 60 years. You think you would have just rage smashed everything at some point?
Yeah, would the door not be like beaten and like, does the door look scratched on the inside?
It just doesn't.
Take the word of 3 crazy women and trust your eyes. Let's see what we can see.
All right.
All right, so are you cool with me with the flame, or are you trying to stealth in? You seem very stressed about me.
Yeah,
with
no,
this.
I would like to turn all the lights off before we head in. I mean, I'm cool if we want to explore, like
I like Belrissa's.
when we see things we want to explore. Yes, we could turn on the lights, but like in general, I would rather not be a ball of light walking down the tunnel, if possible.
Which is what Jesse is right now.
Yes, yes. So if we could please diminish the lights before we start moving, that would be appreciated.
Okay. But let's look at this room. I want to look at.
nice in here though, right?
I'm gonna start walking down.
It
towards
is
the
nice in
corridor.
here. It's way too nice in here. I don't understand.
I'm gonna look at the back of the door. See if there's any scratches or anything at all.
Make an investigation check.
Kins is still having her flame in her hand
All
until we move out of this room, but I would like to scan to see if there's anything that catches her eye.
5.
Okay, Kins, you can make that check as well.
Investigation.
5. You definitely don't see anything on the back of the doors, though. The stone is very old, for sure.
18.
You get to use your passive also if it's higher than 5.
Oh, 10 then.
You can, you 10. Oof.
Yeah. Same answer.
Okay.
What'd you roll, Kins?
18.
18. Okay, yeah. So you kind of look around and you're thinking about Vin's comments as you're looking around, and nothing is disturbed even a little. There's a thick layer of dust on the floor, and you can see the sort of skittering rodent feet across certain sections of it. The cloth that has been thrown over the furniture has been, eaten by insects and things like that in a handful of places, but there was definitely not a battle in this room. Or if it was,
Okay.
somebody came in and cleaned up after it.
So I'm gonna walk up to Vin and just blow out my flame, very angstily. That's a word.
I
I'm
hold
gonna
up my
take,
hammer and also blow it out.
I'm going to take like 10 steps forward and then try to stealth into the darkness.
Are the lights still going, or did you turn
I turned
those
my
off?
lights on.
Oh, okay.
So Belrissa's lights are the only ones left now.
Okay, I'll still have Belrissa's.
They're gonna do one little last swirl around Vin before they turn off.
Okay, fine.
So,
And I tell Weasel that his name is Weasel.
And I'm just going to do a
Sweet.
motion that says like ping me every 30 to 60 seconds, right? Like, so that's the hand signal I'm giving you, Belrissa, is just like, let's start a conversation. We don't have to like do it that way, but just so if I start talking to you while I'm stealthing, that's what we're doing.
so Vin,
Okay.
are you stealthing ahead?
I would like to, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I
Go
mean,
ahead and
I
make
assume,
stealth check. Yep.
so
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
'cause
keep
there's just
Weasel
one
with
tunnel,
us,
right?
though, for now.
Yeah, we're gonna keep Weasel.
that's fine.
I stand back next to Belrissa. I'm
have to
protective of
Weasel.
Weasel now.
28.
28. 28? Okay, you
A
just
lot of stealth.
you just disappear. No, you are actually really, really comfortable in here, Vin. As a drow, you have spent a lot of time underground in caves and are just more comfortable, generally speaking, in the dark than you are in the light. It's even just that walk up the mountain in the morning with the bright morning sun. Just this is your zone, right? So you step into the shadows and you walk ahead. You're about 40, 50 feet ahead of everybody. You guys continue to walk down, and as you descend,
Vin, are you okay?
All good. All good.
everyone, but Thorcum and Jeshi in particular, you begin to notice that this certainly isn't a typical functional mine. There are small alcoves carved seemingly at random into the rock. Within them grow strange and beautiful plants. Everywhere you look, there's a touch of life. Where most dwarven mines would be cold and clean, this place manages a fusion of dwarven diligence and the wild randomness of the natural world. There are bioluminescent globes illuminating the path, and a channel carved at the base of the wall runs fast with clean, pure water. Fed from an unseen stream somewhere above, the channel branches wildly, irrigating the nestled biomes all along the main shaft. It's a stunning and peculiar place. The room the hallway you're in, rather, opens up, and you can see that all around you, it's vast cavern, there are these almost zoo-like alcoves just carved into the walls and into various places. And suddenly the map begins to make a little sense. This is not just a mine. There are things here. There are animals. There are subterranean habitats for different plants and mushrooms and flora and fauna.
Mushrooms.
Things that you've seen Vinadil and whoever else has delved deep in the ground. Things that you would expect to see very, very deep are here growing in these alcoves. And then, sure enough, things that you'd expect to see only outside, getting light from these globes that are hanging. This is like almost like a nature preserve has been created in this mine, and it's all very much alive.
Do we notice any action? Like I'm looking for like particularly picked fruit or
Yep.
Signs that people have been coming in and eating or
Make an
interacting
investigation
with
check.
us.
Did you say there were animals here, or what was that descriptor you said?
Yeah, there are small creatures. There's nothing large, but you can see little lizards and reptiles,
18.
things like that.
18 on
18.
my investigation.
Yeah, so the main shaft kind of comes up on it's almost like a bridge that overlooks a lot of if you can picture almost going to a zoo where you're sort of overlooking a lot of these habitats below you and kind of out in the distance. So you're not right up in them, but you can get a pretty good look with your exceptional dark vision as a drow. They don't really look disturbed at all. Some of them are overgrown, like they haven't been kept up. Like if at some point someone was doing landscaping, that has not been taken care of. Though everything does seem to be alive. The irrigation was expertly crafted, presumably by the dwarves, and the flow of the water and the positioning of the lights has created almost like these living biomes. And you also notice that as you continue to walk, they change and they there's sort of like a forest biome, and then there'll be more of a like a desert type of setup, and then there's a water feature where there's a small waterfall that trickles in, and you can see small reptiles and fish swimming around. And this was meticulously crafted, and you can certainly tell that this would have taken a very, very long time.
Clearly not done by the 3 druids we met. I mean, right? There's no way they didn't tell us about this.
We never asked them if they went in the mines, right? They only told us that they locked the thing in the mines. So what if they
Yeah.
never went in?
Yeah, I don't think.
I feel like they wouldn't have. 'Cause
I don't think they would
told
have.
us. Well,
We would
they're
hope.
gone. Yeah. Can't trust them.
So are we still in that hallway, and this is just like different rooms? As
There
we're
haven't
passing
been.
by?
Yeah, there haven't been any major
There's
like arteries to the
there's-
left or right. Okay, it's just
no,
one.
there's no major. There's one major artery that's running sort of at a couple points. It'll rise up as it bridges over like a section where there's a biome below, but then it's generally been descending
Okay.
down into the mountain. And the rooms that you saw on the map were a crude illustration of these biomes essentially.
And it's heading towards Northport. Is like, or this NP is what is at the other side.
You could make a survival check to kind of check the general direction you think you're going.
I'll just look at Balrissa and say, what general direction are we going?
I take out the globe. I say, "Oh, mighty globe, what direction is this?"
Yeah, so you take out this
Ask
it's
again
about
later.
the size of it's
Okay,
probably like
small.
3-inch diameter globe, and it swirls, and you can see that it kind of like the swirling inside points, and it's not exactly the way you're going, but it's pretty close. You're generally heading in a kind of northwest.
It's northish.
All right. I mean, that's what we expected.
Are you still
So-
okay up there?
Good. Yeah. I think. Okay.
Are
Am
we-
I still
are we
60 feet
back?
ahead? I guess everybody's kind of coming up
just
along.
following?
Yeah, I
you?
assume that you're
Yeah.
still like way out.
Yeah,
ahead
I'm
of
good.
everybody.
I'm good staying. Yeah, 60 feet ahead.
Okay. We're gonna keep
Yeah.
following you.
I mean, I'm okay as you can expect being in this.
This is crazy.
Like you have. Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, this.
Thorcum, because you were looking, or thinking about it earlier, you do notice that at one point you cross over this small section, and there's like a little alcove on the left-hand side of the artery where there's a doorway. The doorway is ajar, and you can see inside of it that there's what looks to be tools. There's like you kind of get, you'd have to go in there to get a closer look if you want to, but
I
you
won't
can
go in there. I'll
you
dismount.
Okay. you dismount 14. You climb off, you go in there. This looks to be kind of the equivalent of like a janitor's closet. Like you can, whoever was kind of, keeping these things cleaned and etc. Stored their tools here. So there's rakes, there's different, shovels, picks, things like that. You also see that there is mining equipment in here, though it is sort of stowed away almost as if it was in storage, like it hadn't been used. But you can see there's some mining picks, there's different things of that nature kind of on one side. So, but everything is like some of it is stowed neatly and some of it has just been kind of put in here haphazardly. But yeah, there are some tools and things if there's something specific you're looking for.
I'm going to close the door. I'm going to look. Do I see if there's a way down into each of these biomes?
So you look around, make a perception check.
See if I can get better than my passive. That's really hard to do, apparently, tonight. Oh,
Ooh,
that's
22.
still not better.
close.
Oh no, perception.
This is
the other
perception.
better. 22.
Yeah, 22.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So as you look around, you can see that there are the way this was designed. It the best descriptor I can give you out of character is a zoo. So there are ways to get down into these biomes, but they're not really meant to be used by what are likely to have been visitors. And you think about the register that you saw, that you looked at, the book that you found in the first room, and there were signatures, almost like a guest book. And you start to put two and two together, and you realize that people probably visited this place quite often. So you do look around and you think to yourself that you could get down into some of these if you needed to, easily, but it's not exactly, there's not a clear path, for you to do that.
Okay, my last question is, I'm looking as we're passing all these biomes. Is there any connection between the biomes and each of the pillars around the tree?
With that same.
Heyo.
Something is smashed.
Whack whack.
Oh boy.
I don't think you would find an immediate connection. Yeah, you've already made several, checks related to looking around this stuff. You find that there is variety. You haven't looked at a lot of those pillars around the tree, because you would have to walk the entire perimeter, right, to see a lot of them. And there is variety to these biomes in that they're clearly meant to represent different areas of the world, and so there is a vague connection, though not direct.
I'll hang on to the thought,
Okay.
but then keep following the rest of the group. Imagine I've fallen behind a little bit.
Okay.
Next time Belrissa reaches out, I'm going to ask you to ask Jessie or Thorcum. I mean, like, just noticing the water, that it's here, it's stayed active. Like, are there any other systems that they know of? I mean, it's very dark in here. I can't imagine it's always this dark in here. Are there any other systems that they see that might be just not turned on right now? Or, I don't know, just keep their eyes open for anything that might be light or sound or anything like this water is running through this stuff. Sorry.
Can we turn,
There's lights.
Can we turn
There's
the
lights in
power
each
on?
of the biomes, right? Because that's what the trees are using to grow.
Okay, so they're just like the bioluminescent lights are kind of what we would say are the
Like
Yeah.
the artificial sunlight.
It's not pitch black.
yeah.
But-
Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay, I'll just keep moving on then. I mean, and I won't necessarily stop. like obviously I'll stop before each biome to kind of look, but then unless there's a significant left or right, I'm just going to keep going, unless I see something that's different somehow.
Okay.
And every minute I'm like, Finn, all good?
Yeah, good.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay, good.
All right. So you continue to walk forward for probably about an hour and a half.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah, it's big. It's very, very, very big. And you find yourself stopping occasionally just to sort of look in awe at what you're seeing, you know. And so it's not as though you're walking as fast as you can, right? You're almost meandering a little bit just to take in the sight of this mine as you're trying to just make sense of it all. And you start to get to a section on the main artery where you can tell that you're getting into an area where the construction was not completed yet, as was described in the register. So you can see that there are biomes that look to have been carved out of the rock but are not populated with anything. There are sections that look to have never been completed, and the irrigation is not there, or the lighting is not there, and there are, you know, remnants of old organic material. You're just kind of getting into that part where clearly this is as far as they got before they had to leave. You can also see that the main artery itself continues on beyond where the habitats and biomes have been created. And you can see as you're continuing forward that you're sort of transitioning into where this was still an active mine. So and you can tell as you're kind of looking around and trying to make sense of this, that they were mining this mountain, and as they pulled out the precious metals and gems, they would replace those tunnels in those areas with these biomes, as if trading one for the other. And so you're starting to get into a section now that's a bit more akin to an actual mine. You're starting to see mining equipment that was left, unfinished tunnels. In a couple places you see that there are giant caved-in areas where the supports were never quite finished. You're sort of transitioning out of this front area and into a much darker area of this mine.
I'll start being even more watchful then. I mean, now especially for things like footprints, tracks, droppings, like anything that gives sign of life.
Sure. Yeah, make a survival check, Finn, to see if you can find any tracks or anything that would suggest there's life or movement down here.
12?
12. Okay. There's still a lot of dust and a lot of just settled, dirt, and there's definitely no obvious tracks that you can find. As you've been walking, you have been kind of disturbing, what was a pretty thick layer of dust just across the ground, and you've been creating footprints behind you as you walk, and you don't see anything ahead of you. You'd feel pretty confident that, at least recently, nothing has been through here.
I'd say on the next check-in, like, none of this seems right. How do we walk for hours and see no sign of a giant angry monster?
It makes no sense at all.
I don't understand.
Someone's not telling the truth here.
Yeah. But I mean, just
maybe
I want this to be simple. I want to find a thing and shoot it and be done. But like, I don't know what we're walking into here. But I'm going to keep going forward, but just I'll tell everybody it's about to shift, and kind of prep them for what's happening, and everybody kind of be more aware.
I turn to Belrissa. Can I ask her, can we send the weasel? Can we send the weasel yet?
If is it time? Sure. Where do you want to send him?
Oh, I'm just asking. Does Vin want the weasel?
Oh. Finn.
Weasel?
Do you want weasel?
With that phrasing.
Not quite.
Phrasing.
Flip it.
Yeah. Like to spin what? No, I don't even know what that means.
You
know.
So as you're
Not
walking
almost
down,
time.
as you're
Okay.
walking down, you can see that the main artery actually starts to get a bit smaller, and there are definitely signs of cave-ins, Vin, as you walk further in. There
Like left and right, or like I'm having
yeah
to climb over.
no
them?
not in front of you. The main shaft has been supported pretty well where you are here, but there are tunnels to the left and right hand side that you can see. You can see kind of to the end of them, and most of them actually have collapsed and are preventing any further access. You get to a point where the main tunnel sort of comes down quite a bit thinner than what it has been before. Before there was a probably 30-foot high ceiling, and now you're down to about a 10-foot wide hallway, which is still plenty of space for you. You can tell that this is definitely where the actual mining was happening. You can see that the walls themselves haven't been completely smoothed and cut. They were still working on certain veins here and there. There's still mining equipment. You're starting to kind of walk through the active mining area. Thorcum, you notice Vinadil right now is about 60 feet out in front of you. And with your passive perception and your ability to see dimly here in the dark, you notice that there are cracks running through certain sections of the wall. Some of the stone on the floor that has been meticulously cut. The mortar in the stones is cracked, and there are these sort of fine cracks running here and there that stand out to you as things that shouldn't be there.
Okay. I'll kind of stop and pause and look at one of these cracks a little bit more closely.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Take the 23. That was pretty good anyway.
Okay. Yeah. So you're looking at this, these cracks, and you start to follow them, and you notice that some of them begin in the wall, and they sort of spider up along the wall, and several of them go all the way across the ceiling, and start to extend as far as you can see with your dark vision. After just a few moments, it becomes pretty clear to you that the structural integrity of this tunnel is questionable. And it's at that moment that you feel a rumble beneath your feet.
Do we all feel this rumble?
I'll turn to Belrissa and I'll basically say, get Vinny back here.
Vin, rumble, get back here now. Did you hear
All
it?
right, I will double dash
Double tap.
60 feet back to the group.
As you start to run back, Vinadil, based on this message from Belrissa, Thorcum, are you still riding on 14, by the way?
No, I got down
You got down.
where I investigated that.
As Vinadil runs up behind you, you see 14 instinctively kind of turn just to check what the noise is. And as his metal foot scrapes against the bottom stone of the floor, a small spark ignites a massive explosion from the latent gases that have been leaking into this cavern. There's a huge explosion, and I need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Didn't smell anything? All of our passive.
Who is within 10 feet of me?
Please
All
be
of
kids.
us?
Please be kids.
Could be all of
Well, it's
them.
not that.
Anyway.
Yeah. Oh no, Jessie.
Theater of the mind. If 14 being vigilant, I'm going to have him help me on my dexterity throw, but he will automatically fail.
Okay, and also I need everybody to make this saving throw at disadvantage, and I'll explain why in a minute.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh, I don't want to do
Oh.
it. Can I not do it?
Okay, same
Okay.
number.
Okay.
Do we get any of
Oh, wait.
Jeshi's good juju?
Saving throw? Yeah, you get 2.
Oh yeah,
Yep,
plus 2.
Everyone except Vin was
Just
near
plus
Jeshi.
2. Okay.
6.
9.
16.
Okay, the DC was 14.
Ooh.
So who fails?
I did.
I do.
Okay.
I made it at 16.
I also made it.
All right. As this explosion rocks this cavern, anybody who failed the save takes 17 fire damage.
Okay.
The next thing that happens is the force of the explosion starts to cave in the entire cavern that you all are standing in, and the floor beneath you begins to give out and collapse as you all feel yourself begin to fall.
How many damage was it again?
That was 17 damage. Half damage for anybody who made the save.
Oh, okay.
I think since it's a dexterity save, I think that means I don't take any damage.
That's correct, because of your evasion ability.
Yeah.
So this explosion rocks this cavern, caused by a spark and presumably some odorless gas that had been building in this cavern over the years. The explosion, everybody gets blown back, and the entire cavern begins to starts to collapse, and you can hear this loud noise as everything collapses beneath you. Now, the next thing we're going to do here is, as the entire place starts to come down, this is going to be a group skill challenge scenario. So all of you, the floor beneath you has started to sort of fall down and is collapsing. Clearly there's some open space underneath you because you're starting to fall. Now you all have a chance to do something. You can only use a skill that you're proficient in. And if you can work together and figure out some way to not all collapse through the floor here, then now's your chance to tell me what that is. So take a look at your skills and figure out what can you do in this moment as you're starting to fall through this collapsing tunnel's floor.
I mean, I'm acrobatics skilled, so I would be doing my best to jump up, but I don't. I've got a rope I could toss to other people. Like, I feel pretty confident that I can make it back to the place that's not crashing, but I don't know how I'm going to help others unless I can like throw a rope to someone who might be struggling. Like,
You've
I'll
got
look around
seconds
and
to figure it out.
All
I
right.
cast
I'm
cast
athletic.
levitate on myself, and then I'm gonna have 14 do an athletics check to get it up.
I cast Misty Step also on myself to a higher ledge and throw a rope down to whoever is able to catch it.
Okay.
I'm looking at Jeshi, so that's where my rope is. Like, I'm running and grabbing and looking at Jeshi to see if I need to throw him a rope.
Then I'm throwing mine to Kins then.
All right, Belrissa Misty steps to what seems like a solid place, throws a rope to Kins. Kins, what are you doing? You see this rope.
I have an athletics proficiency, so I'm gonna try to grab it and wrap it or secure myself around it.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. 12.
12. Okay, you managed to grab the rope, and we'll come back to that in a second.
Okay.
Smash cut to Jeshi. What is Jeshi doing as this is happening?
So Jeshi is proficient in survival, so I would like to try to quickly survey if there's a more safe direction to sort of move.
Okay, great. Make a survival check to see if you can figure out where you might be able to.
6.
All right, so you look around and you're frantically trying to figure out where you could step to see what parts of this cave are not collapsing around you, as you're sort of still, your vision is still blinded from the flashing of the explosion moments earlier, and you move over and you step in a way that seems good, and the whole floor collapses beneath you as you begin to fall. Jeshi, Vinadil, what are you doing?
I'm just kind of like action style jumping off of falling rocks to try to acrobat my way up to
Okay.
a safe place, and then seeing Jeshi do that, I'm gonna go ahead and throw my rope to him while I'm holding on to.
Well, are you Legolasing across the rocks to
Totally.
save yourself, or are you throwing a rope to Jeshi?
I both, right? Like it's the
Okay.
as we go.
Make an
right? So-
acrobatics check at disadvantage because you're trying to do so many things.
okay.
Holy crap.
Oh.
He's fine.
24.
24.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
You all right? So you jump across these rocks, and you had a clear path. You were good to go. You were jumping across, but you see Jeshi begin to fall, and you whip out your rope really fast. You throw it to him, and we'll come back to you in a second. Thorcum, what are you doing?
I'm levitating.
Okay, you cast levitate.
Yeah.
All right. What about 14?
I'm gonna have him roll athletics. He rolled a 6 plus Jeshi's 2, so it's 8, and then I'm gonna flash of genius.
Only saving throw.
That's only saving. So I'm gonna flash of genius to give him 11.
11.
See if
Okay.
I can.
Got it. Okay. So this was a group skill challenge. So you guys manage. Let's see. Okay. So 3 of you managed to pull out something pretty fast. You had Thorcum levitating. You had Belrissa misty stepping away, throwing a rope. You had Vinadil monstrous check. So you guys succeed on this check. So what that means is the floor around you is collapsing, and being blinded by the light as you're falling down, you have like mere moments to figure out what to do. And some of you are falling, and a few of you though manage to react quickly enough to help out your teammates. And you are not able to prevent, with the exception of Thorcum, who's literally hovering above all of this with levitate. The rest of you do still continue to fall, but you manage to do it in a way where you're able to sort of slide down the edge of this massive collapse and not take too much damage. And we will find out what lies beneath in 5 minutes after our brief intermission. We stand up, take a really quick break, stretch our legs, use the bathroom, whatever you gotta do. We'll be back, and we're gonna see what's underneath this tunnel. And we're back.
Guys, I have sad news.
Oh no.
Weasel is dead.
Weasel's dead.
I'm so sad.
Weasel is dead.
No, Weasel! You didn't even get to live up to your true potential.
As
I
far
love
as
how-
I know, right now, all 3 of the beasts you have summoned have been murdered.
Oh,
Grizzly
no,
death.
not Daryl.
No, they
No.
got eaten by the giant.
No, they
They lived happy puppy lives.
they ran
okay.
free in the woods until they poofed out of existence.
So fun fact, this cave-in challenge that we're doing is from the new Kickstarter from Griot's Guide to the Wildlands, which is basically a book that some friends of ours from Next Level D&D have made to basically create a bunch of... There aren't great mechanics in this version of Dungeons and Dragons for like stuff like this, for like, you know, floods or cave-ins or explosions or like actual like natural disaster type stuff. Like if you're just traveling outside and there's like just crazy things like this happen, like earthquakes or tornado, you know, like that type of stuff. And that's what their book is about. And we're going to be sponsoring it in the next few weeks. And so we wanted to start using some of these challenges in the game. And it is super cool. I love it already. And I can't wait to
We'll have
just
to
throw
ask
insane environmental challenges at you guys every game. It's gonna be great.
Thanks for blowing me up. I really.
Yeah. So
That's what our writers need is more ways to kill us,
And-
right? Like,
and one of
More
the
inspiration.
yeah, one of the things in the in the book is kind of like, yeah, so there are a lot of gases in mines, like, and it kind of explains all the science of like why there would be an explosion of methane gas in an old mine that had no ventilation and things like that. It's really neat. I loved it. So nice job, guys. Very exciting.
We
to,
could have all died just there.
You definitely could have all died
But-
just there. But I knew you wouldn't because you're all clever and you managed to. Belrissa managed to magic herself away and Thorcum floating above the chaos and bedlam below as the entire mine shaft has collapsed. Vinadil managing to sort of Legolas your way, you know, like just prance across like these falling bricks in slow motion as you also managed to throw a rope. It was pretty good. It was great teamwork. You guys reacted and you won the group skill challenge. However, that does not prevent the floor from collapsing underneath you as you've all fallen down quite a ways. Nobody takes any severe damage because you've largely managed to control your fall and kind of slide along the rubble on the outer edges. But there's a huge cloud of dust. So Thorcum, even though you're sort of hovering above, you actually can't see anything down below. The rest of you, as you've fallen, sort of slid down the landslide of rubble on the sides of this massive collapse, you feel like you've fallen pretty far. What do you guys want to do as you're sort of lying at the bottom? It is pitch dark down here. All of you have some manner of dark vision, but you're all just... you can imagine what it's like to have just been in this situation. I want to hear what you guys are doing.
I'm gonna have Thorcum levitate down, but since I consume way too much media, if this was Evan's situation, I would totally yell out, "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all."
That means something in this world, right? Mary Poppins.
Marina Popette, we need a yeah.
Well,
I'm just gonna look over like Ken's. Do you have any? I'm not like spell stuff. Anything small that can like move wind, like just get rid of this dust. Can you do that? I still don't even know what magic you guys have available. But otherwise, I'm just like trying to clear away.
Oh, you want a flame?
Jesse coughs violently.
I want wind. I wanted you to blow the dust away.
I cast Mage Hand to
There you go.
mirror
It's
Vin
helpful. It's helpful.
waving it away.
The fart
I give
bush.
you this.
My bad. guys.
Otherwise, I'm just trying to get a feeling for how far we've fallen. Are there any, like, did anything open up beside us? Are we in some kind of?
Yeah, are we?
Like, where are we?
Are we in a new
What's
cave
our-
system?
So,
Yeah,
so
right,
Vin,
like-
you and Jessie are kind of together, and Kins and Belrissa are kind of together. You guys are not. You can tell immediately that you're not, at least within line of sight of each other. You're
Oh.
split up, and Thorcum, you cannot see anybody else. You do notice, though, as you look around, that this does seem to be a different cave system. There are caves. It's the first thing you notice. They're smaller.
So these weren't.
Like-
these aren't mined
These
out.
are not
these
mined
are like
out.
Natural
These
caves.
are-
Like behind Jeshi caves.
That kind of cave, yeah. Like the and some of them are more like burrows, like holes that have been burrowed through the stone itself.
That's not good.
Not smooth, but rough, but definitely not natural either. And you can kind of look around, and you each can make a perception check to see what else you can see. Thorcum, you are just 14 is just, you can kind of hear him. He's somewhere down in the rubble, but you're just kind of floating down into this giant dust cloud at the moment.
And the landslide brought me down.
Oh, I love it.
Yes. Yes.
I have a 25.
22.
12.
Do any of us see 14?
No,
14 for me.
none of you see 14.
I message Vin. Like, Vin, you okay?
I'm here with Jeshi.
Okay.
Who are you with?
I got Kin.
Hi, Vin.
Can I hear that?
Kin says hi.
Did I
Are
hear
you
the
sure
voice?
you don't want me to put a flame?
She's gonna cast fire.
Yeah. Can I hear Kin's voice like echoing or anything like that, or is it just? Do I only hear Belrissa in my
Yeah,
mind?
you can hear a vague echo. There's definitely wall between you, but you can hear the sound traveling somewhere.
Which of our groups sees Thorcum? Or none? Neither.
None of you see Thorcum.
I'm gonna just start pointing random directions, like, Thorcum, are you there? Thorcum. Like, trying to get him.
No, nothing happens. No, Thorcum. At this point, you are floating down, and you manage to find a giant pile of rubble that your feet touch. But you look around, and there's no sign of your companions.
Jeshi is
up.
coughing violently.
Thorcum, you can hear violent coughing, but it's in the distance.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw up dancing
Okay.
light. I'm gonna throw up lights on our side, just 4 dim lights, kind of above Jeshi and I's head, to try to get a feel for what's keeping us from the sound we just heard.
Okay.
Do we see those lights at all?
You don't
where
see
we
them,
are?
but Thorcum, you see some dancing lights kind of vaguely appearing through a cloud of dust.
I'm going to keep levitating instead of landing, and
Okay.
kind of just see what I can see as the dust gradually starts to clear.
All right. It takes a few minutes, but you basically can see that there are a series of caverns, some of which have been exposed by the falling debris. And you can see that there is, you can see some drow dancing lights, which you recognize. The pattern and the speed of the disco lights appears to be Vinadil's version. Less sparkly, less glitter, generally. But yeah, you can kind of see over there, but there's no sign of Belrissa or Kins. They seem to have fallen through a completely different area.
I'm gonna shoot my dancing lights straight up as far as they can go, which is 120 feet. I'm just gonna just a little spiral up.
Yeah, okay, you do that, but nobody would see them based on where you are at the
Okay.
moment.
Just me.
Now, with your perception checks, though,
That looks
you hear
cool,
something
right?
else. Both, I think, Vin, you had a really good perception check, right? 22?
Yeah, 22,
Yeah,
and then
and
Kin's
then
was 25.
Kins,
yeah.
so each group had a really, really good one. You can hear that down one of the tunnels that you're in, there it sounds like bubbling water or running water. It's hard to tell.
All right, I'm much more concerned about getting back to wherever Belrissa and Kin's are. Can we see Thorcum yet at this point? As I kind of move the lights up.
That depends on him. What are you doing, Thorcum? Are you headed towards the lights, or are you?
Let me see how long levitate lasts first.
Okay.
I think it's like 10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Do I know?
10 minutes, yeah. All right, so I will try to get over to Vinny and Jeshi.
Okay.
So this is like honeycomb beneath me. There's different
yeah, basically.
chambers.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll land on the wall where I saw the lights.
Okay.
Kind of above them.
As you do that, yeah, it's pretty easy for you to find. You see Vinadil and Jeshi are there, just sort of, brushing off and just, coughing a little bit as the dust begins to settle. So the three of you are now together, and 14 is able to sort of climb over a bunch of debris and make his way to you guys.
And I'm going to go ahead and mend 14's damage that he took from the explosion.
Okay.
How far up is Thorcom from us?
Oh, he's
If
with you
sitting
now.
kind of,
I'm up on the
I
wall.
thought
yeah.
he waited on
He's-
top of the.
Yeah, probably about like 8 feet. Like it's not a.
Oh,
it's not
okay.
very high. Yeah.
So we could all climb up there too, potentially.
Yeah. But it's only honeycombed in this one area where the floor collapsed, and the actual thing that you fell about 60 feet. Like it
Okay.
collapsed quite a ways. And then there's like this sort of honeycomb of tunnels that were inadvertently opened up by the collapse.
But we don't see. Like, we don't see a whole nother pathway. Like, I mean, as Thorcom, as you were coming down, did you not see another pathway that Belris and Kins could have fallen through?
The dust just cleared, and I saw your dancing lights.
Yeah,
Alright.
and the whole floor did not collapse evenly either. So there's different like you sort of just fell in a different section entirely
Yeah.
than they did, because she misty stepped over away and then grabbed Kins. So they've fallen kind of in a slightly different section.
I gotcha.
Though you did
okay.
hear
Yeah, the sound.
the sound, so you're not really far away, but there appear to be walls between you. What do you guys want to do?
But I was able to message him, okay, right?
Yeah, do you have to see them for a message to work?
No, you just have to
Just
know the direction.
300 feet. Has
Yeah,
a range.
I would say that would work. That's no worries
Yeah,
there.
towards a creature.
So we hear water, but nothing else. Nothing that sounds like an animal or a living thing.
No, you can just hear like running water. Pretty much.
Okay.
Oh
That's
wait,
interesting.
magical silence. 1 foot of stone would block the.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
Yeah, so then the message would not have worked.
Oh no.
Good call.
Well, but you actually
Unless-
yelled out, Kins,
but it can.
and so
I did yell out, but I don't know that you're over there then.
no, but if so, then on hearing Kins and not getting a
Coughing
message,
so hard.
yeah, she's got, and I'll yell back
I'm an
out,
outdoor dwarf.
Kins, Marissa,
You can hear him.
like
Oh. Wait. Can you talk to Vin, Belarissa?
I
That-
tried. He wasn't answering, but he's there.
Oh.
so. I mean, I'm like we're all together.
Although
We need to
I can
find
arc
you
my
guys.
spell over and around. It says you
Over
can
the
travel
wall.
freely around corners or through openings.
Ooh.
So now that you hear me, I guess we could
Try
probably
that.
reconnect.
Could I maybe now that I kind of
But-
maybe not.
We should totally
We'll
do that explosion to the beast.
With that information, I just cast Cure Wounds on myself.
You're gonna cast Cure Wounds on yourself? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I want to look up where we came from, if at all we can figure that out, and try to start seeing how, like Thorcom, Jesse, I mean, you guys help me out here. Like, how did this cave fall? Where could they have ended up? Like, did we create a new
idea.
wall?
I could hear them. They're like
Yeah.
probably right over there. I feel like.
This is natural. We just need to find a way to get to him. Should
Alright,
we
well, let's
investigate the
start-
water?
I would rather find them first, if possible.
That may be the only way we have to get to them. Do
Is
I see
the water
anything
in the same
from
direction?
Do I see anything from where I am, like 8 feet above them?
Not really. Nothing useful. I mean, there's a small sort of honeycomb of caverns, and a bunch of them kind of come together, maybe 30 feet in one direction, and nothing else useful really. They're just some empty little burrows.
I don't think this is the way. Do we? So when they yelled out, did I get a good sense of the direction the noises come from?
Yeah.
Which was?
Yeah, it was in the direction of kind of where all those caves go.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's sort of like it hasn't just opened up into this vast, open area, like it's caved in differently in different spots, and you can kind of see that some of these caverns come together in the general direction. Basically, you can walk through these caves towards the sound that you heard.
Okay.
All right.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Would light help you?
I've got my lights.
You got your
going.
lights going. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, well then let's start moving together towards the sound if we can.
Okay.
Kins, are you okay after that blast?
I think I'm good. We should go find them though, right?
Yeah.
You can't talk to Vin. We have to go find them.
No, I can't.
We lost the weasel already. We can't lose other people.
Should we? Do you think another animal would help us?
Ooh, I like what you're thinking.
Rip Weasel 2021.
All right.
2021.
I'm gonna pull out another one.
Okay.
I'm gonna shake it up a little, like I'm shaking dice.
No whammies.
Toss it. And it is a 5.
A 5. Okay.
New number.
Similarly, as the small kind of fuzzy ball rolls across the cavern floor, it immediately enlarges and darkens a bit in color as a black panther sort of comes out of the shape and just
That
immediately
is not the worst result that could have
That is
happened.
awesome.
looks around. Yeah.
Kitty!
Aww.
It eats Ziggy.
No! All kitties are friends.
My master
Zig-
gave me a snack.
Ziggy survived. There were 2 sharp rocks that came down. One got Weasel. But the other one missed Ziggy. No problem.
Ziggy's fine. Ziggy's always fine. All right. Your name is Kitty.
Okay. So there's your name is nice. It just sort of just starts like stalking around and
Don't eat people or elves or dwarves.
All right,
Don't eat
what is
friends.
everybody doing? Are you all just standing in this
towards-
cave?
No, we're gonna
I'm
walk.
walking towards-
Toward the
I'm-
noise.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and move the lights ahead of us, so like 2 ahead, 2 behind, and every like 15-30 seconds just kind of calling out again for Kins, just so we can kind of
Marco.
keep the exactly. Oh no.
Vin.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna
so,
investigate for trails and.
Yep. So it's pretty easy to walk at least towards the sound of the to both things where you heard the shouting kind of around, but also there's this kind of distinct sound of moving water in one direction, and then in the opposite direction is just silence, and you can see that some of the burrowed holes just kind of stop, and the caves don't really go any further. There's sort of one obvious way for you to go. So you all kind of move in that general direction, and you walk for about maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and the cave that you're at, Belrissa and Kins, you kind of come out of one section of cave, and then simultaneously nearby, but not in the same spot, the guys, you come out of a similar kind of spot, and you can actually see that maybe like a couple 100 feet down in one direction, you can see Kins and Belrissa are down there. So you were able to reconnect. You weren't really far from each other, but you all followed the path and came out to this new area. And as you do, the air in the tunnel grows more humid, and as you move forward, you can see why. The passage opens into a large cavern where you find the source of the bubbling water. A natural hot spring flows freely from a crack in the stone, creating a short stream that seems to be joined by the irrigation channels from above, and on and into a large central pond where it narrows again and flows onward. Sprouting from crevices in the stone all around the pool are tall, wide mushrooms, some as high as 8 feet, with great spherical caps that cast odd shadows in the bioluminescent glow of the cave. The ceiling is 20 or 30 feet above you and lined with thick vines. Kins, in particular, you can feel an unmistakable kinship of the great banyan with these vines that, miles distant, still sends its roots throughout the island. It is by far the wildest area that you've encountered. Those short pillars of unmistakable dwarven craftsmanship still line the winding path that traverses this cavern and leads along the water's edge. You seem to have found your path once again.
Wait, so so this part is like people. We can tell that people have shaped this again. So we're
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And you
Okay.
you seem to be at a lower level.
okay.
But in
What-
one of the, it reminds you of the biomes above,
Yeah.
though you're obviously deeper and lower than you.
The map that we saw on in the first room. I'm just kind of trying to mentally calibrate where we're at. Would we think? And I'm wondering, like, was it only the first floor? Like, did they not have a map maybe to other floors that we would think, oh wow, we're on a place that doesn't even resemble a place on that map? Or
make a quick intelligence check.
and that's just my intelligence modifier.
Yeah, this is like a memory check. Like, what
Yeah.
details do you remember?
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah.
almost a lot of them, but 12.
You, I mean, at the time when you were looking at this map, you were very confused and didn't really capture a lot of details. So you're not sure the answer to your question.
Belrissa,
Mm-hmm.
would you kindly point the way north? Since we don't know where we were supposed to come out into this.
The orb of direction points you in the general right way. Yeah. So the main
This way.
the main cavern, which now instead of being the sort of cut stone of the clean dwarven mine, you're in more of a natural, almost grotto like cavern with flowing water, yet still the signs of the pillars built by the dwarves to keep the roof up. And you can see that there it looks like some of the irrigation might either drain here or possibly connect here at some point. But you're able to continue walking to the north in the direction that you're headed. You walk for another 10 minutes or so.
I'm gonna tell Katie if he smells or hears or sees anything. Let us know.
Yeah, and I'm
With
like
a-
asking the crew, anyone remember what it smelled like right before that explosion? Like, do we have any, like, because that's something I'd like to look out for in the future is, crazy gas smells that lead to explosions when our metal friend scrapes against a stone, so
Fun
like,
fact,
do we have
methane
any?
is odorless and tasteless. That's why it's so dangerous.
Dang it. Well, when you go
Gases
to-
expand to fill the space in which they are.
That is true, Dashi.
Jessie.
Jessie has random gas facts.
Gas facts with Dashi.
Random.
Yes.
For the record, that is a Parks and Recreation
Reference.
Okay.
Andy.
You might want to get more quotes from that guy.
Oh, man.
Okay, methane is odorless. Interesting.
You continue walking, following the water, following the trail. And as you near the edge of the sort of flowing brook along the side, you can see the water is as smooth and clear as glass. Large blind fish flit among the rocks. And at first seems this room is another of the unique blends of form and function. So it's quite a shock when you first see the enormous statue of a resting crocodile, resting on an outcropping across the water. It runs the length of the far side of the great pool, the tip of its tail draping down behind the rocks to dip in the water below. Its massive head rests on an incline of smooth granite, as if it had been sanded down by repeated use. By far the most interesting aspect is the eye. It's huge, spherical, emerald, sparkling brightly in the neon glow of the mushrooms. The gemstone piques your interest, visions of a king's treasure briefly dancing around in your head, until it lazily rolls in its socket and fixes on Belrissa in its reptilian gaze.
Oh, that's not good.
no.
The statue,
Guys, the statue's looking at me.
not a statue at all, begins to slowly move
There's an alligator over there.
as the absolutely massive crocodile begins to stir.
Poor
and
crocodile.
starts to move, and it looks in your direction as the massive toothed maw of this 20-foot long crocodile just opens up, and it sees you. Roll initiative.
Oh yeah.
Their map or
Oh my
theater
gosh.
mine?
Oh shoot! I should have
Screaming.
done that.
Oh yeah. Are we waiting?
Pull up the thing.
We're waiting.
All right. Oh, I gotta pull up the battle thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The turn order.
The
guy.
turn order
Yeah.
thing. Shoot, where's the button? I'll find it. I
It's got all
promise.
these
Push
blind
all
fish.
the buttons.
What we look tastier than the blind fish in the pool? Like, come on.
This combat.
Yeah,
music.
Vin just go
Okay.
grabs a bucket of fish.
Like here,
Throws it at
here, crocodile.
Did
I'm
it,
ready to wrestle this crocodile. I can tell you that much.
did it work? Did the turn order thing
Jesse,
come up?
No,
No.
I don't see that.
No.
We haven't
Okay.
Do you
seen it.
notice
Yeah, we don't
something
see it.
It's gonna make
similar
me
about
refresh.
this, like the situation?
Yes. There's water. It's something with a giant grappling mouth.
I'm not concerned.
it's
I'm so excited.
I'm
What
not
could
concerned. I
possibly-
don't think you should be concerned.
what could possibly happen to Jesse? Nothing. Nothing will happen.
Oh, I'm running. I'm gonna run.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
getting close to the
It
water.
made me refresh the whole page because thanks, internet. But we're getting there. We're coming along.
Thanks.
Okay.
Internet.
We've got
Yeah.
Oh heck yes.
turn
There we go.
order. There we go.
It's there.
And I lost a
Okay.
lot of hit points in that explosion.
Oh boy, Kenny's.
But I thought you lost 13. It's
17.
13. Oh, 17. Ouch, that is a
17.
lot.
It's a
All
lot.
right.
I did it the wrong
and
way.
Let's go ahead and do
All right.
this.
That and
Let's
It's
see.
a
Okay.
crocodile.
Can Ooh, I'm gonna make a quick adjustment to this
Oh.
so that's
oh, I rolled a nat 1
for.
for initiative.
Bum,
Oh,
bum,
rest.
bum,
Yeah, you were just like mesmerized. by the eye
Apparently.
looking at you.
Well,
It's looking at me.
Oh, man.
I have to say, I was a little relieved when it was a living thing because I was like, oh no, is this another cursed stone thing like Thorkim has in 14?
We were gonna grab the eye and then turn into a crocodile.
I think
Or,
the
yeah.
ideal situation would be for all of us to have a cursed stone with which
I
to
want a
toss
curse.
out
To
at any
bargain
moment.
with.
We're in this situation. Cursed
Jay,
stone.
you moved the map.
I did, yeah. I'm adjusting
Feed the
everything just a
stone to
little bit.
the crocodile. That's a good plan.
All right, and I did not target myself. I don't know if you can add me, or if you just want to roll.
If you
me
can,
to roll
if you
again.
do it again, then you can alter it. You can just type
Okay.
it.
Okay.
That's what I.
Let me
always
see
do.
if it.
There we go. Now I can. I had
There
to
we go.
adjust the map a
And-
bit so
and
that
now
I
you
could
can edit.
put it on stream properly.
There you go.
How about right
Oh, since I
there?
did it from D&D Beyond, it actually put my name. That's weird.
Oh, like on the turn order?
Yeah.
You know what's weird? I only ever see Kins and Jeshi. The rest of you aren't named. I don't know why.
Oh, that's
Oh,
weird.
Do you still have control over
You probably
Kins?
still have control of Kins, yeah.
Yeah, I can only see my name.
I can only
I
see
see
Do I?
mine.
Oh,
Oh.
Don't control Kins! Kins is
Oh.
gonna. She's gonna
I use all your wild shapes. I turn into a weasel. Long live weasel.
Kins turns into something that grapples Jeshi. That's gonna get
well,
us the
well.
Did
Oh, the
seriously,
turntables
Martin?
of-
I mean, Belrissa and Thorkum rolled natural ones on initiative.
I cannot believe
We
y'all.
both.
I
Oh
know. I
man.
rolled a
No.
12.
That was
but
on the
that was-
refresh.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
that
was
was-
the.
Oh, that was the
Ah.
refresher. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Got it. Okay. So.
But-
Wait, put
somehow
Kitty on
Belrissa
the
ended
board
at the-
somewhere.
Yeah, kitty.
Yep. Okay. I will. Let me find a. You're gonna have to
somehow
look up
Belrissa ended up at the
look up
top
kitty
of the...
stats.
I got him right here.
What size is it?
Medium.
Medium size. Okay. You're gonna
This music
have
is very heroic.
hyena.
I know.
It
Ooh,
is.
okay.
It's our hero music.
There you
It's
go.
a very ugly
We're gonna
cat.
win.
Oh man, Kitty's ugly.
Kitty's real. Like, yeah. We do.
Aw.
It's a cave
Little
kitty.
So any
That's awesome.
chance this is the
Kitty
beast
looks
of
like a
many
knoll.
forests? Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
so as you walk up and this giant crocodile sort of wakes up from sleeping or whatever it was doing, and it begins to aggressively kind of move in your direction. Kins,
Oh, Jesus.
you're the first to react.
I am the first to react. I can. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since we've done this. How do I do this?
Shoot it
Just
Kill
one shot.
it.
with magic.
One shot.
Turn into an even bigger crocodile.
I could turn into a crocodile, literally. I didn't look up crocodiles though. Croco. No, so Kins is
Giant crocodile.
wait, so this croc is sorry, my map is super zoomed in. It's like all the way over here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Kins is going to. What am I gonna do? I can't call lightning because we're inside a cave, I think. You know what? I'm just gonna turn into a polar bear, and we're gonna start off there because polar bears can swim. I can swim over. This is water, I'm assuming.
Rawr.
Yes.
Okay.
Kaiju fight.
What'd you say?
Kaiju fight. Let's go.
Okay, first I'm gonna turn into a polar bear and move. Oh shoot, where is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 40. Oh, I can't go close. I can go.
Oh.
Is this like a cliff? Like, do I have to jump off this if I go like?
Well, you can kind of see on the map, there's a little pathway that leads down into the water, and then there's a
So
cliff
that's more-
kind of around.
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I'm gonna move 40 feet somewhere.
Protect us.
Yeah,
Kins.
yeah. Like kind in that angle. Yeah. I'm gonna move. Oops, I can't do that. I'm gonna move over there,
Okay.
and I can't hit it yet. So. Oh wait. No, I don't want to get closer. I'm gonna be here, and I will serve as a shield for anyone who wants it, who needs it. I will be the bear shield for the moment.
Did you use your action to move?
No.
You can hold an attack.
Okay. Oh yeah, yes, I can hold it in action. So I'm gonna hold my action then, and if this crack comes near me within range, which is, I'm pretty sure like 5 feet or whatever, then I'll do my multi-attack.
Okay. Excellent. All right, so you're holding your action. If the croc comes in range of you, you're going to multi-attack it.
Yep.
Got it. All right, Thorcum, you're up.
Yeah. Excuse me.
A lot of dust down here, man.
Yeah, I know. All right. I will move right here. And then I'm going to hold my action to attack the croc when he gets closer to Kins. And then 14. It's going to move right in front of me. And that is my turn.
Okay. That's going to be the giant croc's turn. And let's see here. I'm going to measure.
Oh, I didn't roll my HP for my bear.
Let's go max. All 10s on D10 or whatever it is.
Okay. It is going to. Let me just do a quick review on. All right. As it sees the polar bear, you can see it sort of snap in your direction, Kins. And it is going to use its movement to sort of slither off of the thing into the water here. And it goes into the water and basically dives down underneath. And you immediately lose sight of it. You're
Great.
not sure where it is.
I'm not worried. Could it swallow me whole? Probably.
Probably.
It's a big probably.
Okay, Vinadil, you're up.
Is this part also not a cliff?
That's correct. Yeah, that's like a little, rampy type thing.
Place where crocodiles might be able to climb up. So let's see, I can move 30 feet. I'm gonna move like here and like bonus action hide, and then hold my action that if the crocodile pops out within range, I'm gonna shoot it. But
Okay.
that is my turn, so
Got it. All right. Jeshi,
Oh.
you're up.
natural 1 on stealth. All right.
Ooh.
Oh, good.
So-
You are also coughing.
yes.
Still coughing up dust.
I cast Bless at 2nd level,
Okay.
and I bless Pelibrikins,
Heck yes.
Thorcom, Belrissa, and Vinadil.
Thanks.
And I move to... Yeah, but I guess like probably like right here. Yeah. Right there. That's it.
Okay, Belarus, you're up.
Okay. Remind me one more time. If I hold an action, do I hold it until my next turn or the end of the round, which is basically the end of my turn, so there's no need to hold an action?
I believe it's the end of the round. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, it's
on
the end
that.
of the round.
Yeah, it's not
It-
till your next turn. It's the end. Yeah, it's the end of the round. Yes.
Okay. We'll shoot. Then I'm going to... I'm gonna move up here
Move away from the water.
a little bit. I'm gonna use my bonus action to tell Kitty to protect me and kill the croc. So I'm gonna have him stand like right in front of me.
Okay. Can you? Oh, you probably can't move him, can you?
I cannot.
Let me change that for you. You can be. Oh no, I'll have to do it. Like right there.
Yes.
He's named Hyena, but oh,
Okay.
you can't see that anyway. It's okay. He's actually a Black Panther. Don't worry. He's in disguise. Y'all done?
No, I can't do anything, but I'm going to cast Minor Illusion to create an illusion of a bunny rabbit right on the edge of the shore, like right there.
Okay.
A delicious looking bunny rabbit.
An illusion of a bunny rabbit.
Yes.
I like it.
I think I can cast. I think that's small enough. Yes. A large bunny rabbit.
I was gonna say like a 5-foot rabbit.
It can be
yeah.
5-foot cube, so it's a very
Got
large
it.
bunny rabbit.
So a little
Big
little
old fat
illusion of a
rabbit.
bunny rabbit
Like-
just
like
appears
this big.
on the shore. Very cool. I love it. Okay, that ends your turn. All right, at the top of the round, you guys look around as you're all trying to like look into the water to try to see what is going on and where this thing is. You notice that around you, some things begin to move as the giant mushrooms around you all of a sudden start to sprout to life.
No.
And
What?
No, mushrooms don't start to life.
No, we
And
eat them.
appearing all around you are these giant humanoid mushrooms that sort of stand up and
No.
and arms begin to sprout and they sort of like start
And they
to
make
move
creepy sounds?
and make really creepy sounds and they enter the fray as they come out. Let's see. So I need to reorder descending.
This
Yeah, there you go.
is
Ooh, two of them, 20s.
ridiculous.
All right. So Belrissa, right behind you.
Yeah. He's also right behind Ben.
the mushroom behind you comes alive, and you look over as it reaches over, and it raises up a hand towards Vinadil, and it blows out of its mouth as a bunch of spores just sort of fly off of its hand and right into an unsuspecting Vinadil's face. Vin, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right, that's 20. I have a D4 I can add if needed, but
20. Okay. You cough and gag as the spores just fly into your face, but they don't seem to have any overly negative effects. The one that's, let's see, so that's going to end that guy's turn, and then which one is this? So the next one is this guy over here, and let me just check how far he can move. He can move.
is he
that
like
far.
under Kins? Where is he? Oh, there he is.
So this one is going to move 5, 10, 20. That one just uses a dash to move towards Kins, and that's going to end its turn. Kins, it's your turn.
Oh, dude, come at me, mushroom. I might eat you. Okay.
You.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with eating mushrooms. I'm
It's
gonna
like
come. Is that in range? Is that 5 feet? I don't know. I can never tell whenever I'm
it
doing
is.
stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna just take a step close, my giant polar bear paw closer to this mushroom, and multi-attack.
Okay.
Plus 1d4.
Because I guess. Oh yeah. Okay. Because I guess I'm hungry. I don't know. How do I do this again? Is it this button? Oh my god! That was a bite. Natural one.
Wait, it didn't show up for me.
It just went to the DM. When I'm using the polar bear D&D Beyond, it goes just to the DM.
Okay.
Or I don't know if you got it, Jay, but it's a
I
natural
did.
one.
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So as you go out to bite towards this mushroom, you reach out and you take a huge chunk out of it, and then you realize that it was just like an actual piece of mushroom that was still just hanging off of this creature, and it wasn't actually even part of it. And you just like it's just caught in your mouth, and it's all dry, and you're just like it's just like kind of stuck there, and your mouth is occupied by being filled with mushroom at the moment. Do you have?
Okay, I have the claw attack still,
Yeah.
so.
So your bite is
my mouth
occupied. You can still.
No! I hate everything. It's a 9.
Yeah. So you go to attack this thing.
With
and
the 4? With the plus 4?
Oh, it's a
Plus
13.
1d4? Plus
Wait, is that
1d4,
for
you have
to-
to roll.
Is it for it to hit though? But that because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
9 to
You have-
hit.
Yeah, but you have to roll 1d4.
Oh, I have to roll 1d4.
Roll
Just
1d4
kidding.
with
How
your
do I do
blast.
this?
You never
here?
know, armor class could be
Can I do it from
between,
here?
9 and 4 or something.
You know, I'm just gonna do it from this
It's
other one.
pretty smushy.
Oh, please, please,
Yeah.
please be a 4.
Just a little mushroom.
Ah, it's a 3. 12.
12 hits.
Hey! Thank you, Jesse! Jeez. Okay. 15. Whoa!
Ooh.
Look at that.
15. Okay. So you take a huge chunk out of this thing as you just reach over and you're just like, and you just cleave off like half. Its body is kind of that real. It's basically a living mushroom. As this thing is kind of coming at you, and its body is soft, and it's not very particularly limber. You literally just cleave through it and take a huge chunk out of this thing. Nice job.
Still up.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I don't know
Oh,
if this
yeah.
matters, but I'm gonna like move like a little bit closer to kind of box out like this corner, so it would have to go around me to get around me.
Okay. Great.
That'll be my turn.
Thorcum, you're up.
Gonna move right there in such a way that I don't trigger any opportunity attacks. And then gonna fire my musket at this guy.
Bless.
Okay.
14, is that hit?
14 hits.
I'm not gonna worry about the bless right now. So that's 10 damage.
Okay.
You will roll your bless.
I will roll my bless. You love it.
You need to.
And you will take those points.
That's also 10 damage. So that's 20 in total. 1d.
All right, so Thorcum just sidesteps around Kitty and just dual cocks this his musket and just takes out this giant mushroom, this walking mushroom, and he just taps it, once in the chest, and it kind of blows back, and the second one just hits it right in the face, and it explodes into a cloud of spores before it even has a chance to do anything.
All right, and then 14 is going to walk up in between Vinny and Belrissa and punch this guy in the face, hopefully.
Nice. Ooh.
Oh.
It's a 10. I don't think that hits.
It actually does hit, but the fist just kind of, just sort of like, it kind of like almost bounces off like it's like rubber, like it doesn't seem to connect properly as he punches it.
No
But,
bless with the robot. Oh well.
Okay.
And he's just going to hold position there, and that's my turn.
All right. Next up is going to be the crocodile's turn. You see it emerge from the water on this side. Why can I not select it? Come on. There we go. Okay. It comes out of the water to about right here. And mostly Thorcum and Belrissa, who are paying attention as you kind of look over it and see it. And you notice that as it comes out of the water, it's clearly looking around. And it locks eyes on you, Thorcum.
Did it not see the rabbit?
It steps on your rabbit. Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Okay.
And it locks eyes with you, Thorcum. And it moves to right here. And is going to... let's see. What's it going to do? It's going to... Basically, it advances on you super quickly. Its eyes locked on you the whole time as it sort of like snakes across the ground. And it's more limber and quick than you'd expect as this thing runs up on you really fast. And it's going to first do a tail attack as it sort of whips around and tries to smack into you with its tail. That's going to be a 23 to hit.
Yeah. Go.
Okay, that's 15 damage on you, Thorcum.
Ooh.
And I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Just a second.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and here we go, Jeshi. 17.
17. Okay, excellent. As the tail whips around,
Plus
And-
2.
Yeah, there you go.
There you
There
For
you go.
your defense.
it smashes into your chest, and the force of this wicked, massive tail just smacking into you, you instinctively like throw your leg back and you slide through the dirt like a couple of feet, but prevent. It doesn't quite knock you down. It seems angry, like almost. You can see this look in its face as it's sort of like the muscles in its face tighten, as if in response to you not being knocked down, and it goes in to attack you again, Thorcum. And it is, let's see, it goes in to bite you with its second attack. And that's going to be a dirty 20 to hit.
I will shield.
Shield that, okay.
Yep.
All right. Then let's see, move that back. Oh, there you go. And that is going to, let's see, that's going to end its turn. All right, let me just double check this. Yeah, cool. All right, that ends its turn right there. Next up is going to be... Oh, that guy's dead. Okay, he got taken out before he had a turn. This guy over here, he's going to move to right there. He can't do anything else. It's going to end his turn. Next up is the one that's right next to Vinadil. And it is going to look at you, Vin, and it does the same thing. it looks right in your face. This sort of alien-like, fungal head, which sort of sprouts out in all these different directions. It comes right up in your face and
Is this a magic
Magic mushroom.
attack?
this is let me double check. I don't think so.
Or
Nope,
anything
it's not.
about being charmed? No?
No, it is not. So Constitution saving throw. Okay, very nice. Again, the spores have.
Man, Beyond 20 is awesome. It's rolling the d4s for me. I added a bless component.
Oh, awesome!
Oh,
That is
sweet.
really cool. That's great.
Yeah.
What?
As
How
a-
did you do that?
Yeah,
It
teach
does-
us your ways.
I'll explain it later. Yeah.
It does this attack, and as you have no effect, you just you cough, and it kind of, and it starts to reel back and kind of look around as it's trying to like survey the rest, and that's, it stays right where it is. It's gonna end its turn. Jesse, you're up.
That's really weird. I thought you went before me, right, Pin? We were,
Did last time.
tied. Yeah, why don't you go?
Yeah.
Oh, weird! It put you in a different order when I reordered
Yeah.
with the new.
Strange.
I'll but I figure my dexterity's probably higher.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
you
try
could
to
say
I'm gonna try to stab the one that's next to everybody, that's engaged with like 14 and Belrissa. Let's see what this does. Did that roll things? Nope, that did not roll things. Okay. All right, that's a 25 to hit,
25 hits.
and then
Delete it.
oh, whoops, nope. Whoa, that's a lot of dice. Okay, I'll take the first one here. It's 24 damage, so 10 and then 14 sneak attack.
Okay, that thing is just wiped out of existence instantly.
No, it was the upper
It was the
one.
actual one.
Yeah,
on
the
top.
other one.
Oh, the other one.
Yep.
Yeah,
Got it. Yep, same difference.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of damage. You're able to just completely sever the head with your rapier, and the body just seems to collapse and immediately just sort of just kind of collapses into like this sort of mucus, spores kind of puffing out into the air.
But the death spores don't do the same thing as the active blown spores.
Don't seem to have any effect, no.
Okay, cool. All right. Oh, that's my turn.
Okay, Jesse, you're up.
I go there, attack with my hammer.
Boom.
22 to hit.
22 hits.
7 crushing damage. Is it a fiend?
Nope.
I don't think it's undead. 7 crushing damage. Attack again.
Okay.
22 to hit again.
Yep.
6 crushing damage.
Excellent.
And I am doing this on the run, so I run past it
Okay.
to right there.
It is not going to attack of opportunity against you.
Cool.
Sweet.
All
That's
right, Belrissa.
All right, I'm gonna hit this alligator
Okay.
with a blast. For 24 to hit,
Yeah, 24 hits.
and
Nice.
he gets 10 damage.
10 damage. Very nice.
Right? Is that? Yes. And I'm going to push him back 10 feet, 5 feet, 10 feet.
Okay.
How far is it that I can push him back?
10 feet.
10 feet. Okay, and I'm gonna hit him again.
All right.
Plus 1d4.
Plus a d4. So 11, 14 to hit.
14 does hit.
Yay!
Cool.
And that is a 6 damage.
Okay.
Push him back another 10 feet
All right.
off your map.
So it's kind of like right here. Yeah, you
Yoshi's
can
like
kind of imagine.
a little grumpy as this thing goes further away from
Oh,
him.
poor
Oh,
Josh.
sorry.
No, I'm just kidding.
And then I'm gonna back up over here, and then I'm gonna tell Kitty to go bite him. Actually,
Oh,
wait.
kitty.
5 to 5. Is that 20 feet to him?
Mhm.
Okay, then he gets, if a panther moves at least 20 feet straight forward, then he and then hits with a claw attack, then he could possibly be knocked prone. So we're gonna see.
Okay.
Physically impossible.
I was gonna say.
Or he could roll in that one, and that's what happens.
You rolled in that one.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Which is
poor
more likely what
kitty.
would happen if it.
Oh, Kitty.
It's like when your cat comes up to you and just kind of like does this.
Oh, I mean,
Starts rolling over.
the creature has to make a
Me.
strength save. It doesn't just automatically get knocked prone. I just checked it.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
But yeah, but he
but
rolls
he
in that.
still rolled in that
He rolls in
one.
that one, huh? How many hit
Yeah.
points does your tiger have?
Hits.
Panther, 13.
Panther have.
Oh yikes.
As he runs up to the giant crocodile and
Uh-huh.
tries to kind of slash at him, the crocodile whips around and just smashes your panther with his tail, and he goes flying back over here and is knocked prone.
Oh, man, Kitty.
Poor kitty.
No damage, but he's lying on the ground like.
You tried.
Yep. Okay.
Rough day for your Pokemon.
It really
Uh,
is.
Kins, behind you, this creature, it comes up right behind you, and you're looking right at it as you've just taken like a big chunk out of it, and it's sort of like
Yeah.
leaning over, like in this very supernatural kind of like it doesn't make a lot of sense how it's still kind of being held up, and it's just like half of its torso is missing. It's just, and it looks at you and just blows a bunch of spores into your face. Need you to make a Constitution save.
Okay.
Using
I'm
the
sorry,
bear's
this-
Constitution.
This is like the stuff of nightmares. I just want to say that out loud.
Giant mushrooms. Hey,
19.
Jay, you forgot to move one across the water last turn.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, there's one across the water.
He can only move a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, he moved. He dashed too. That's
Oh,
as far as he
okay.
made it. Thanks, good call. Yeah, okay. It does nothing. And as
I
it
go back. Blow back.
as it fails,
it's like a big-
it starts to waver, Kins, and it just goes, and it just sort of like makes this weird sound and just is as it's trying to like keep itself up as you've just taken a huge chunk out of it. But that's
World.
all it does.
I'm telling you, it's the stuff of nightmares.
It's your turn. What do you
I
want
am
to do?
going to multi-attack this.
Die, nightmare, die.
Please, nightmare.
Nightmare mushroom.
I'm so sick of it. Oh my Jesus Christ! Again, a 1.
You rolled a 1?
I'm not even. Yeah, it's a 1.
Again?
Again. On the bite. The bite doesn't want to happen.
Okay, so you try to make the bite attack, but your mouth is still like caked. It's like really, you got like cotton mouth from eating all these mushrooms, and you're just like, and you can't get the bite. It just does nothing. Nothing happens at all as this.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's hope that the claw comes in for the save again. Okay, 15 to hit.
15 hits.
Jeez. 14 damage.
14 damage. Okay, this thing explodes in a cloud of spores as your claw just rips through it. And as it does, the spores, they sort of cover the face of your polar bear as it's just like choking on other bits of mushroom. And for a split second, as these spores just shower your face, you get this really brief vision, Kins, of the tree. And in a split second, it's gone. What else do you want to do? Do you want to move?
Okay, I'm gonna move. Yeah, I'm gonna move closer to, or I don't know where I can fit in here. I guess closer to where Jeshi is. Oh, I can go through Jeshi though, right? Or go around him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there is one guy, like.
Oh, he's right there.
Here.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, yeah. I'll just
There's a guy.
I will. I don't know.
Lunge.
I'll just move closer. That's fine.
Okay, Thorcom, you're up.
Oh yeah. Slightly hurting from the tail whack. Let's see. Get some distance marked out here. Oh yeah. I'm gonna 3 up. Whenever. Get up here. I'm gonna take a crack at this guy.
Okay.
Nice.
27 to hit, 13 damage.
Okay, he
Plus
explodes.
1d4.
Again, the
1d4.
the force of the hit, the mushroom thing explodes in a cloud of spores, and sort of just this big sort of orange and yellow kind of gross cloud in the face of Kins and Vinadil right there. He's gone.
Well,
He's down.
I will attack the crocodile with my second shot, but it's
Okay.
going to be disadvantaged because he's out of my
Sure.
good range. So I'll just roll twice here. 13 and a 14.
You
What's the D4?
Plus 1.
Hey.
Oh yeah,
See.
So that's gonna do it.
that's gonna hit.
We'll take
Even with a 1.
We'll
Just
take the first one.
barely. Yeah. Nice.
13 damage.
13. Okay.
14 is going to walk up next to Jeshi and assume the wall of metal. Let's go.
Okay.
Excellent.
He sees the wall of metal, and
Is baited in.
thinking. All right. He starts by moving right here, and is going to use his tail attack, which has a range of 10 feet,
What?
on Jeshi. That's going to be a 22 to hit.
Oh, God.
Wait, there's no 14's just watching?
Yeah,
Okay.
10 feet.
That's that hits, yeah. Okay, 11 bludgeoning damage, and strength saving throw, Jeshi.
Plus 2. 25.
25. Very nice. Okay, you managed to resist as you kind of hold your the force against the shield still hurts quite a
To
bit,
do
but you
a
managed to
concentration check,
con save for
I pass.
yeah, past that. Okay, it is then going to
I find, depending on the session, I go through more or fewer toothpicks.
Wait,
Not
is this
really
more or fewer?
This is more. I'm chewing the crap
Is
out
it
of them.
stressful?
I'm not sure why.
okay, so it moves in closer and is going to go in for a bite attack against Jeshi. That's a
No.
dirty 20.
Deflect.
Deflect.
we'll get-
Nice.
Okay. So what does that mean?
It's just disadvantage, so you roll again.
Oh, okay. Then that's 18.
Oh, that still hits.
No.
17.
For some reason, I thought I added that. I was thinking of shield. Okay. Okay, so that hits. That's 18 damage, Jeshi.
Okay, I need to do another concentration.
No. 18 damage and
And you're
I
grappled
pass.
in its mouth.
Oh.
Wait, what?
And it turns
did it.
around,
No.
Wait,
No.
do I get a
Come
save?
on.
and
A
it
grapple save?
dives in the water.
What?
No.
No,
Come on.
okay.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Jesse.
This is happening.
Again?
Wait, I don't get a grapple save?
You do to escape it,
Oh wait, I can't.
but you don't get a save to avoid it. If the attack hits, you're grappled.
Okay.
You can still.
In a
Jesse,
mountain
no.
under
As you
about we found
Worry
water.
not, I have held concentration on my bless. Through it
so
all.
yeah, 14 can
I'm
make an
still
opportunity
like,
attack.
let's go,
No, he
team.
can't. I actually used his
Oh,
reaction.
because he used his reaction to deflect. Yeah,
would've
and
been
as
amazing.
it dives into the water, and Jeshi, you're kind of flailing to kind of keep your head above for a few moments.
I'm not flailing, I'm taking it.
You see
Just
It's
resigned.
familiar.
It's resigned at this point.
I know the drill.
I know.
you see that there are a bunch of those fish immediately start frothing and going crazy and appear on the.
Yeah, it's not good. You should save your energy. Don't flail about. Save it all for one big burst.
God, and there's piranhas, buddy.
Oh,
It's like a
great.
James
Great.
Bond.
I'm not worried.
I
You shouldn't worry,
can't
I'm
believe
not
it's
worried.
Jeshi. But it is. I mean, here we go. Okay, that's gonna end its turn. Actually, well, yeah, that is gonna end its turn. Basically, dove into the water. Next up is that. Oh, it's this guy. He's way over here. 5, 10. He makes it to right there. He's helping.
I
that
totally
guy's
expected the.
gone.
And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Oh
It's
my
like,
God.
Now that Jeshi has been grappled, drawn underwater.
Then you're
Oh
up.
my gosh. Oh. Okay, so no plant things near us. Can I see the crocodile from here?
Can
Like-
you? Yeah.
Like, is it okay?
Yeah,
Is
sort of. It has not completely
Okay.
submerged right there. Yeah.
Okay, well then I'm gonna try to shoot it. I assume it's engaged with Jeshi. Like, does this count as engaged?
Yeah, for sure.
Otherwise, I'll try a bonus action hide and sneak up and see if I can get it. Actually, can I try that? Like, can I hide and then move to the edge and try to
No,
approach it like stealthily and
no,
shoot it?
because hide requires you being still and not moving.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, then I'm just gonna shoot it. My crossbow. I'm gonna. Did that roll?
Yes.
Did
Yeah,
now.
a
It's just
lot
a lot.
of-
Ooh, not
There's
12.
a-
Oh, that's because nat 20, buddy.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Plus 1d4.
Get it? I mean, add it to the 30.
So, okay, so I'm not. They rolled the
So
dice
that's-
twice, but
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's basically
24 plus 14, right?
24 plus 12 plus 5.
Okay, which is
Yeah, so 24 plus
41.
12 is 36 plus 5. Yeah, 41.
dang.
Nice.
Vinadil, I'm picturing he just does like a dive roll to the edge and just slow motion.
Like,
Kinda
not
shoots-
again.
Shoots the crossbow, and the crossbow bolt sort of flies down and goes right through the top lip of this giant crocodile, and it barely misses Jeshi, who's grappled in the mouth, but appears to have done significant damage to the croc. All right, Jeshi, you're up. What do you want to do? You can still
I
attack,
heal-
just at disadvantage.
I heal the crap out of myself with my action.
Okay.
So let's do that first. Then I cast Sanctuary on myself. Done.
Okay. All right, you're sanctuaried. Belrissa, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna run to. Why is no? Run to. My computer, my screen. Oh, there we go. All right, I'll run down here.
was gonna say, like, where are you running away?
The computer
She
was
just got
doing
eaten
strange
again.
things. I'm running away because I don't want to be eaten by a crocodile. And I'm gonna blast him.
Like, this is literally version 3 of this story. Like
The epic adventures of Jeshi and grappling.
29 to hit
Yeah,
D4.
29
there
hits.
You go. There you go.
with a 10 damage.
10 damage. Okay, great.
And I'm not gonna push him away.
All right. Okay,
And-
next up.
wait, no.
Oh, you're still going?
I got one
Yeah,
more.
she
Oh,
has
you got a
a
whole nother
blast.
blast.
Oh,
Yep.
and that
Oh,
20
nat 20.
Yeah.
Dang, nice one.
with. Wait, why does it roll 2 dice? Don't I double one? Can I double the first one?
You double the 8.
Yes. 16 damage.
16 damage. Okay.
20 damage.
Yes. Because
Oh,
the plus 4,
yes,
I guess,
20
is from
damage.
your
Yes.
modifier?
Yes.
Okay.
Got it. All right.
It's dead.
And then it's Kitty's turn.
Okay.
And
Kitty's
Kitty
prone.
cat.
he's gonna get up.
Use half his movement to get up.
And his movement is 50.
Dang.
So he's just gonna move right in front of me.
Okay.
You have to move him though.
Oh yeah, like right there.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. Next up is going to be the fish, who are going to swim over and try to eat Jeshi.
Oh, Josh.
Yeah.
Oh my
Sanctuary.
god.
Sanctuary.
yeah.
Wisdom.
Disadvantage. Oh no, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, wisdom.
How
Sorry.
much
My bad.
wisdom do piranha have? Let's find out.
Let's see. 6 worth. They have 6 worth of wisdom. Which, yeah, nothing happens. I mean, they have nowhere else to attack.
They're not
and
going to
they-
attack the alligator? It's just sitting right there,
No.
looking all tasty.
I know they could definitely eat the alligator.
They sure don't. That one's gone. Kins, you're up.
All right.
Okay.
Just dive bomb off the side.
as I've
kids.
planned.
Just
I have like this plan that is like overkill potentially,
do it.
but I don't know.
Do
I
it.
don't know.
Do the
People's
overkill.
Overkill
polar bear
plan.
elbow. Let's go.
That's right. Just off the top rope.
Well, I'm afraid to do the polar bear thing again because I've been rolling so poorly. There's no
polar
way
bear
that I can get
plunge?
3 nat ones.
Polar Blair plunge.
You just
yes.
jinxed it.
Do it.
I know. Definitely just jinxed it.
It's not even possible to get 3 nat ones in a row. Don't worry.
You
Hey.
got
Sure,
this.
unless you're willing.
We're
You-
doing great here. We're doing great here.
You said it's only 30 feet away from you. You could totally make that jump.
How can Kins make a jump? Like, does that count towards my distance?
Yeah, it would use some of your movement to jump like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how close can I get if I jump off of there? My distance is 40 feet.
Uh,
Can I get next to it?
You could run
What
around.
is your
to the
actual
side and
movement?
jump if you want to.
My at 40 feet.
okay, so you have 40 total.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say you could jump and definitely make that. Plus, you have swim speed in addition to your regular movement speed, right?
Yeah. So it says 40 feet and then swim 30 feet.
Right. So
Is
those
that
are
plus.
those are additive. So if you can move
Oh.
30 to the water, you get an additional 40
What?
of swim.
That's crazy.
Okay. I'm gonna. I don't know. I want to be here.
Yeah, that's
However
fine.
that comes.
You can easily make that distance, right?
Okay.
No
Okay.
worries.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna try. This is deja vu all over again. I'm gonna try to bite. Save Jeshi. All right. Bless. Do you want me to roll the 4?
Alas.
I don't know what you
17
rolled, so potentially.
17 to hit.
17 hits.
Okay. Jeez. Bite. Be better. 11.
11. Okay. Excellent.
All right. Claw is coming. 13.
13 does not hit.
Plus,
Plus,
oh,
I'm doing
plus
it.
your
I'm
4.
doing
Yep.
it. I'm doing it. Hold on. Oh, wait. Did it not go? It says rolling dice. Plus 2.
Plus 2.
15.
Yeah, 15 hits.
Yay.
That bless, man. Coming
That bless is
in.
clutch, yeah. Jesse's
Yeah.
just like he's just like ragdoll in the mouth. He's just like bless.
He's like, I've got it. I'm holding on to the blast.
He's MVP, even though he's just
This
like
is why I didn't flail. I was
ragdolling in the.
Oh
He's
my
getting
goodness.
death rolled.
14 damage.
I healed
14,
for
okay.
32. I'm good.
Nice. No, death rolled. Crocodile. Death roll.
All right. Next up is this other
Oh man, I'm still in the water
group of things are
with demon fish.
they swim over to Kins and are going.
Come
to
at me, bro.
try to take a giant. You look like a much tastier target to these piranhas than.
the metal dwarf.
And you have all your hit points, right, Kins?
Yeah,
Okay. That's a 19 to hit
that hits.
and 10 damage.
Okay.
And that's going to end their turn. Thorcum, you're up.
I want to do something so bad, but it's just dumb, so I'm not.
Do it.
I just wanted to do the kaiju fight, man. I was gonna transform enlarged 14, but I'm not gonna do that.
Oh
That's-
my god.
But
I mean,
Godzilla
you
versus-
seriously should do that because that would be
versus Gundam. Let's go. All right.
Gundam versus Godzilla. There you go.
20 dirty 20 to hit, 14 damage on the Crocky.
You said 14?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent. Starting to show some tear.
16
wear,
additional
little tear.
damage on the Crocky with a 16 to hit.
16, yeah. Okay, excellent.
14 is still going to try to save Jesse. He's got 40 movements. Just make sure I can get there. Yeah, oh no, he can totally get there. What's up, buddy? Fist. Oh,
14
come on,
casts fist.
On the
max
Dang.
damage.
Oh, dang, man. Awesome.
15.
That's great. Yeah, okay. Crocodile's starting to waver a little bit. Very nice. Okay.
I like that this one mushroom guy's just like
He's still huffing it over there. He's
Trying.
trying, man. He's trying so hard. Okay.
fidgets for my friends.
At this point, the crocodile is going to whip around with a tail attack to hit Kins. So against you, Kins, tail attack is 24 to hit.
Yeah, buddy.
I will deflect that.
Okay.
Yes, I will.
Then that's 18.
Yep.
Still hits. Dang it, man.
All right.
I'm a
12
baby bear.
bludgeoning damage and strength saving throw, please.
Okay.
Plus 1d4.
Can I do?
Ooh.
No.
And also plus 2.
Do I even need to roll?
What is it? What is it?
Oh wait, just kidding. Wait, I lost
And
my
plus
check.
an extra 2. Because you're within 10
Because of the
feet.
aura. You get blessed plus
Okay.
aura.
So
Jesse's just
what is
lying
that?
there
13?
like limp and this just
We didn't see
saving
that.
everybody.
I thought that I rolled worse than I. Well, okay, so it was 7 plus 4 plus 2, 13.
Right. Okay, that still fails.
Okay. So I will use Flash of Genius.
Oh, genius me! Describe it.
Yep, you have to
Oh my
describe
God.
it.
Oh my god. I will just yell out, "Clench your butt!"
You are a bear.
Wait, what do I
Nice.
have to do for Flash
You
of
get-
G? Or you do it,
No,
right?
it's just 5 extra, so it's 18 now.
Okay.
It adds, and you can use that on saves and not just checks.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Okay.
18.
All right, you do make the save. Miraculously, you clench your polar bear butt together, and it just gives you this surge of grounded power as you're floating in the water, I guess.
Just kicking
but you
furiously.
do not get knocked prone by the smashing of the tail. At this point, the giant crocodile, it has just spun around and done almost like a 360 in place to attack Kins. And Kins, as you sort of deflect this and you clench, and you get a look into this thing's eyes, and it seems to lock gazes with you for a sec, and there's a panic in its eyes, and it's looking around, and it spins again, and it sees 14. And at this point, it is going to swim across to here, and it spits out Jeshi as it does. And Jeshi, you could actually take an opportunity attack if you want. And from Kins.
me?
Yeah, and from you as well, Kins.
15.
Ah!
15 hits.
Do it. Do it. You know you want to.
Get it.
You know you want to.
10 crushing damage.
Okay.
I'll smite it.
Nice.
Second level smite. I need to. Okay. 16 radiant.
16 radiant damage. Okay, and Kins, what are you doing? Are you
Yeah,
attacking
can
as well?
I? So I try to multi-attack.
You can either bite or slash.
One. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll bite or try to bite. 11 plus. Hold up.
Plus D4.
Hold up. I keep forgetting.
Believe.
Ah!
13.
13.
I should have just done the claw instead, because bite is cursed.
It was a good try, though.
That would
You-
have worked.
You believe.
Dice, no.
Yeah, that one misses. It's just sort of flailing in the water, and but it rushes across the small little stream here, and it seems to frantically be like trying to escape, and it spits out Jeshi, and it crawls up onto the bank on the opposite side. And Jeshi, as it does, you manage to sort of like lean back in the water, and you put your foot down, and you get lucky, and you get this really nice footing, and Dark Forge comes up into your hand, and you just smash the thing across the rear flank. And as your hammer finds purchase on the back of this thing, you divine smite it, and a lot happens at this point. As soon as you do, you can feel that something significant has happened. You've cracked your hammer across the back of this giant beast, and the entire cave begins to rumble, and the beast itself starts to convulse and limp as it climbs out of your reach, and its front claws are climbing forward, and as they do, the beast begins to change shape.
It's an old man.
What?
Oh my god.
This is
Oh
the
my God.
beast.
And as it climbs on to the opposite bank, it starts to change shape into a familiar form, that of a humanoid. It's about maybe 5 feet tall. It's got sort of a very well, you recognize it. It's a furbolg. It's a race that of humanoids that you're familiar with, and it climbs onto the opposite bank. And this furbolg is incredibly old, probably way over, probably maybe 200, 300, 400 years. It's incredible. You just look at it and it just looks ancient to you. That's the first thing you think as you're peering across the dimly lit cavern, as this giant beast has transformed. You can see that this furbolg is atop it's got this sort of long scraggly beard, and atop its head it has what almost looks to be like a mushroom that's sort of sprouting out with these long sort of curly eyebrows as it sort of rolls over, and it's just sort of frantically looking around like it's just confused and can't figure out what's going on. It rolls over and it's sopping wet as it starts to crawl backwards on its elbows as it's looking around, and you see its kind of bluish gray skin with this long reddish beard, and you can see that it's dressed in clothing, and it wears these long sort of patchwork robes, and it's got like what looks to be sort of a satchel and a bit of gear kind of tied around its waist, as it's sort of completely coming out of the form of the giant crocodile. And it sort of finally gets all the way back onto. You can see it's really confused, and it looks over. And finally, it locks eyes with you, Jeshi, and it looks over and it sees the polar bear, and it sees the lot of you, all sort of weapons aimed in its direction. And it's got this look on its face, just like this frantic, excited, yet incredibly scared look. And as this is happening, the rumbling of the cave begins to cease, and all of the other mushrooms, the ones that didn't already come up to life, begin to sort of rise up, and several of them walk over and just sort of stand in front of this creature. And there's just like this cacophony of all these mushrooms who have come over and sort of formed a defensive ring around this furbolg as it's sort of lying there. It raises an arm up, and the mushroom myconids, they step out of the way, and the furbolg looks over at the lot of you, and it just says, "By Alara, you've come at last." And that's where we'll end this incredibly long session
Whoa.
for tonight.
Oh man.
Guys, I was never worried. I had 6 hit points that dragged me into the water. There were piranhas swarming.
Oh man. I didn't do my overkill plan. I did my polar bear plan. But now I'm like, okay. I don't know.
6 hit points.
That's
Also,
not a lot.
that's Znick. Right there.
I mean, Nick
Yeah.
was one of Jeshi's best calls
It was Nick's
yet.
turn.
Jeshi, water, large creature, and grapple.
I mean, this
gotta
is
be
the
pulled
thing.
in.
He runs into its mouth every time, and I'm
You would
like,
think we're heading to a
I'm
mountain.
bite-sized.
Certainly,
I don't know what to tell
Yeah.
you.
certainly, Jeshi can't get grappled into the water in a mountain.
In a mine.
But of course, yes. Yes,
But he will
can.
find water
Yeah.
and be pulled into it.
oh, that was
Hey,
fantastic.
be glad that Kins can swim because my
glad.
goodness. My goodness.
Oh man,
I
that
can't.
that was a long one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, nice job, guys. So the giant crocodile, the beast, has transformed into something else. I guess we'll find out next week what it is, what that's all about. We have
And Druid.
an after show on Saturdays where we'll talk through the game. Jamie and I will not be there this weekend, but you guys will, and there might even be a guest coming along to talk about some interesting stuff. Check out the Discord, find out more from I guess once you guys get that sorted out, you can put details there. But that's Saturday at 9 Central on this channel here. We're live every Wednesday. And if you missed the beginning of the episode or want to go back and watch other episodes, you can find them on YouTube, which you can also find in Twitch chat if someone wants to link that. Yeah, what do you think? Any other stuff you guys want to say before we sign off for the night?
Not really.
Well,
I think we're good.
That link is there,
Hi,
though.
y'all.
Did you want to raid, or are we just
Oh,
going?
should
raid.
raid.
Yeah, raid.
Yes.
want to?
that-
Just
oh,
on
for
the way
sure.
out?
let,
Yep.
let us raid.
Let's definitely raid. Yeah, give me a sec. Tell them about our sponsor.
Yeah,
What
our
sponsor?
I don't know.
Well, we
Tell
are
them something.
Almost sponsored.
Tell somebody
No,
something.
but
Good night,
since we got to experience some of their content, we might reach out to our friends at Next Level and see if they'll be one of our guests this Saturday. Ask them why they tried to kill us with a gas fireball
That was harsh.
Yeah,
That you can't
Explosive
smell.
farts.
that you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
smell. Yeah,
That was
Yeah.
like a lot of damage, man.
it's like iocane
Major.
powder, man. It's tasteless, doesn't smell. But
Yeah.
Took it on the chin.
dude, 6 hit points. What in the world?
That's
Well, 17 from that, and then I got hit twice for like double digits.
Yeah.
Wow.
No. Yeah, we are
Oh,
level
yeah,
7.
because we did fall.
Like I think sometimes people forget, we are
The
still level
explosion
7.
hit me for
So-
17.
Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Because you only had half, which was helpful.
Right.
And then you turned into polar bear.
I did turn into polar bear.
If you could learn how to do that, Jeshi, that would be great.
Polar bear?
Like if,
Yeah.
just learn how to turn into a polar bear.
maybe
That
kids
would
can
come in
teach you.
handy for
I will
all of
just
these.
start embodying a polar bear.
He'll just start
Right?
staring at Kins like while she's a polar bear, just trying to figure it out. Can I do this?
How do?
Can I is it possible to do a raid through Streamlabs? Does anybody know? I don't think so, is it?
If you do Slack, oh, Actually, it might be just through the Twitch chat. If you do
Yeah.
/raid and then you type the channel name.
Is anyone
All right.
still
We are
with
a
us?
new channel. Still
See-
figuring it out what raids actually are.
I could
No,
raid
we've got
for
raids
you
dialed
if you
in, just
want.
not how to start them. Yeah. Okay, raid starting. Here we go. I don't know who this channel is, but they've got a game going, and it says finale
Oh
in their
my.
title. So
All
we're
right.
gonna, hopefully we're gonna go
Let's-
land on something exciting.
Mediocre.
How's
in
the
a few
plan?
seconds
While
here.
we sleep.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks for
hopefully
watching, guys.
The plan was good.
Yeah, exactly.
This is it.
Until next
Good
time.
luck with your bad plans.
Good luck with your bad plans.
Bye.